Hi everyone, Stacy here. Welcome to my channel or welcome back. So today let's talk about October, the month ahead, and see what energies could be coming down the pipe for each and every one of us. But really quickly, before I dive into all 12 signs, I want to thank each and every one of you for liking my content, sharing out my content, and subscribing to my YouTube channel. I really, truly appreciate the love and the support, and I am sending that back to you tenfold. So thank you so much for that. Also keep in mind, these are general readings. So I do not have your personal birth chart sitting in front of me. Each and every birth chart is going to look a little bit different, especially depending on the house system you prefer. So in these videos, to keep it short, sweet, to the point, and simple, is I use a whole sign house system for all of my videos on YouTube land here. And also I am using Western tropical astrology as well. So always take what resonates and leave the rest. I do recommend that you watch for your rising sign. I think that's going to be the closest you can get to a personal reading. But again, keep in mind, when I work with my clients 101, I do use Placidus and I do use a whole sign house system because I find both of those systems work best for me, but I'm not saying they're the only system that we can follow in astrology. So again, take what resonates, leave the rest, watch for your rising, watch for your sun sign, watch for your moon sign, or any other planet placement or point in the respective sign to pull all the information together for you for the month ahead. And of course, if you'd like to work with me 101, you can get in touch with me on my website, and I'll be sure to put the link to that in the description box below. Okay, so just some overall highlights for the month ahead. So I do have the mundane sort of day-to-day transits on the slide here on the left-hand side. So if you want to take a screenshot of this slide, go ahead and do so, because I know some of you like the breakdown of the day to day. So let me just go over just a few things here. So we do have Pluto stationing direct this month on the 13th, and this is at 1 degree of Aquarius. So back in May of this past year, he went retrograde at 3 degrees of Aquarius. So for those of you, I'm going to say, that have 0 to 5 degrees of the fixed signs, so this is Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio, or Taurus, you'll probably feel this the most. Pluto has been kind of grinding you down, kind of melting your exterior and getting down to the core of, if this is your rising sign, your sun, your moon, maybe it's your Venus, maybe it's your midheaven. So again, double, triple check your chart, because Pluto is definitely slow and steady, and he's going to be going back and forth in this area of life, and has been for a little while now. But anyway, when he is going direct, when they're stationary in the sky, they are extremely potent and extremely powerful. So for those of you in, like I said, the fixed areas of life, this is hitting, I'm going to say, the most. It doesn't mean those of you, say for example, the Sagittarians, the Aries folks, the Librans, and also the Gemini folks. Technically, you're experiencing this as a trine or a sextile, which is normally, I would say, a bit of an easier type of energy, but still, you're going to feel sort of the grind of Pluto that's, again, slowly, I don't want to say wearing you down, but again, think of it as he's kind of stripping you down to your core. He's just asking you to be authentically you, depending on, again, the area of life he's hitting, and with respect to the planet placement or point that he is touching in this area of life. So he is going direct, and he's going to be very potent and powerful in the month of October, because he's pretty much going to be standing still in the sky. Now, Mercury, believe it or not, is already going into shadow. I feel like we just came out of a Mercury retrograde, but maybe that's just me. So Mercury in Scorpio at 20 degrees on the 21st of October, he'll actually be going into shadow, meaning he's going to start slowly but surely slowing down as he moves into Sagittarius, where he's going to be going backwards. So what this means is Mercury is going to be coming back to this degree point when he stations direct in a couple months from now. So again, if you, this is hitting the fixed people again. So Scorpios, Taurus folks, Leos, and Aquarians, you're going to feel this energy the most, but it doesn't mean if you're any other sign, you're not going to feel this. Or perhaps you have a stellium in Scorpio. So clearly this Mercury retrograde is going to be extremely or extra important for you. So I would say pay attention. I'm hearing pay attention to the details this month when it comes to Scorpio, that area of life. We all have Scorpio somewhere in our charts, and I will get to that once I dive into all 12 signs here in a second. But if you do have anything in Scorpio, I would say just pay attention to what happens this month. And something I do notice is as soon as Mercury goes into shadow, of course, depending on where it's hitting in your chart, I notice the Mercury retrograde themes start to come up right away. So like transportation issues, just trying to get around, there's a little bit more difficulty doing that, or there's delays or whatever the case may be. Or suddenly your technology starts kind of getting wonky or breaking down. Or, it's like that energy of like stubbing your toe, and it's like, man, that's been there forever and I've never done that. Why did I just all of a sudden do that? Or you smash your elbow on something, right? It's those little hiccups that kind of day to day that start to slow us down. So just something to be mindful of. Mercury retrograde always has a purpose. He is asking us to redo, go over, and slow down in this respective area of life. So I'll touch on that in just a second here. Okay, what else do we got going on? We're going to talk about the full moon and the new moon this month. So it's in the axis of I am versus we. So me versus we axes. So we have a full moon in Aries on the 6th of October, and then we have a new moon in Libra on the 21st of October at 28 degrees, at a very late degree point there. So we'll talk about that for each and every sign and what axes you can anticipate sort of endings and new beginnings, technically. Okay, and ingresses this month. Yes, we have, let's see here. So we still have Mars in Scorpio, and Mars loves being in Scorpio. That's one of his home signs. His other one is Aries. So he moved into Scorpio on September the 22nd, and he will stay there until November the 4th. Now, Mars in Scorpio, as I mentioned, he's at home. So he's very strong. He can express his energies fully in this sign, but he's a little bit different compared to when he moves through Aries. So when he's in Scorpio, it is a very black and white, yes or no type of energy. There's no maybe, there's no working within the gray when Mars goes into Scorpio. But Mars in Scorpio, I find, is very, I'm hearing intelligent. Yes, it is very intelligent. I'll get to Mercury in Scorpio in a second, but it's also strategic. That's the word I want to spit out. Very strategic when he moves through Scorpio. Like he moves through Scorpio with a purpose. It's not like when he's moving through Aries, he's kind of erratic and he's like all over the place. He's like squirrel, squirrel, squirrel. Let's go after anything and everything, right? And he's very fiery, very outgoing, very loud. Scorpio, he kind of sits back and observes, right? And we're all going to take on this energy. I should have been clear about that. This is going to be the sort of flavor when our action, passion, motivation, drive planet is moving through the depths, the deep water of Scorpio. So he's very loyal in this spot. He's very loyal when he moves through all of the fixed signs. This is also a very sexually charged position for Mars as well. So those of you in a couple or even not, fancy time behind closed doors is going to be amped up a notch or two, or I at least encourage you to lean into that if you're interested. But yeah, Mars here can be pretty passionate, intense, obsessive, compulsive at times, but not to the degree of as if he was moving through, say, a fire sign or an Aries sign. Okay, now Mercury here. Mercury is moving through or diving into Scorpio, I should say, on October the 6th, and he's going to be here until October the 29th when he's going to move into Sagittarius. So Mercury in Scorpio, as I mentioned earlier, very, very intelligent, very, very sharp, and uses almost like words as weapons, you guys. So that's sort of the shadow side, I'm going to say, of Mercury in Scorpio. So think about all the trolls and the gremlins that come out on social media. That's kind of what they're showing me. That might get amped up a notch Please don't let that get under your skin, my friends. But it's just sort of a caution of, there's a lot of energy in Scorpio this month, especially when the sun moves in there this month, right? So Mercury in Scorpio, though, is very, like I mentioned, very sharp, very intelligent. It's almost like thinking before speaking, and it's about speaking for a reaction. And you see how that can go both ways. Again, a Mars-ruled sign is always a double-edged sword. It can, well, all of these signs can be used for the highest good, the greatest good, or you can adopt the lower energies of the signs, or kind of like the shadow type of energies of the signs. But that's just something to watch out for, because again, we're all going to take on this energy, because Mercury is our communicator. Mercury is how we think, how we digest information, how we chew on information, and how we speak as well. So I just encourage you to take this energy higher. Excellent work for investigating, or human resources type of work, or working with people, or like dissecting things, trying to get to the bottom of things. This is a really good energy to sort of channel this into, so to speak. Mercury in Scorpio is also, well, Mercury and all the water signs I find are very psychic, whether you realize it or not. So meaning, you walk into a room, you can read the energy, you can read people, right? You meet someone, you shake their hand, or you give them a fist pump, whatever you do, or bump, whatever you do. You already know if you like the person or you don't really like the person, or if that person intrigues you, but you just can't put your finger on it, right? It's that type of energy where Mercury in Scorpio is about seeing almost like right through people, right? It's like calling the bullshit, right? So to speak. So anyway, we're all going to adopt that energy is kind of what I'm getting at. So we pretty much have this energy for the entire month of October. So use it wisely, just in time for Halloween month, of course. Okay, what else do we got going on here? Venus is moving into Libra this month as well. So October the 13th, she moves into her home sign of Libra. So we have two personal planets this month in their home signs. So they both can express themselves very, very passionately and very strongly this month. So Venus in Libra, she's going to put laser focus on, yes, I bet you already guessed it, relationships, because Libra does rule over the 7th house, or has that flavor, I should say, of all about relationships, all about the other person, your one-to-one connection. So this goes beyond love. So this could be love, this could be your marital partnerships, but this could also be business partnerships, work colleagues, your clients, your family members, your friends. Think of all of your one-to-one connections, even to your pets and animals, right? Like their souls, their beings as well, right? It's those one-to-one connections. So I do love this, but I'm gonna throw a little spin on this, that this could, I'm already seeing that this energy could make us a little bit lazy, but I think we deserve lazy right now, right? After that eclipse season we just came off of, and I forgot to mention that. How was your September, by the way? How was those eclipses? What happened in your life last month, or if anything at all? But anyway, I think we're gonna need this. It's kind of like coming down off the high a little bit, and we're eating our potato chips and we're binge watching our favorite shows and things like that. So I do love that type of energy, but it can also create a laziness in our relationships. It can create the almost like an illusion of doing everything for your partner, right? Almost like, I'm going to be honest with you guys, they're showing me a doormat. Okay, I was hesitant to say that. I'm not saying everybody out there is a doormat, but it can get to that if you're too lackadaisy in your relationships, right? So don't forget about balance. Don't forget about harmony. Yes, absolutely. Love and beauty is going to be thrown into the mix this month as well, right? And obviously relationships, that laser focus with our relationships. But again, don't be afraid to articulate to your partner your needs and your expectations, right? And ask them to meet you halfway. It's not about you doing everything. Unless you want to, by the way, folks. If you're a Libra out there, I feel like you're like, well, yeah, I give 101% and my partner gives nothing, right? And you're okay with that, and that's totally fine. You do you with this energy, right? But it is about balance. It is about 50-50 in relationships, right? Also, yeah, pampering yourself this month. Don't forget to pamper yourself, spoil yourself in however which way you like. All right, what else? As I mentioned, yeah, the sun is joining the party in Scorpio this month. By the way, all this energy piling into Scorpio, I do love it this month because it's going to trine. It's going to make a giant water trine this month to Saturn, to Neptune, and to Jupiter, in the sky. So I love it. I feel like we're going to have that energy all month long. So that is a win. That is a takeaway this month. But keep in mind, water equals emotions as well. And they're also showing me like bloating, like salt, something to do with salt and bloating and our hormones, especially if you're a female out there. Our hormones might get a little wonky this month. But anyway, it can also bring out the emotional side in us. Again, the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, everything that comes with emotions, right? So Sun moving into Scorpio on the 22nd, and Neptune is backing into Pisces this month on that same day, which is really exciting. So let me see here. Neptune moved into Pisces February of 2012. So this is how long he's been in this area of your life, dissolving, disintegrating, bringing in that illusion and fantasy into this area of life since way, way back in 2012. So he moved into Aries March of this past year, and that was his first dip into Aries was March of this past year. I should be clear on that. And then he is backing into Pisces right now, wrapping up that larger story that's been going on for over a decade now. And I know lots can happen, you guys, in a decade. I get it. But this is, again, what planets, placements, points do you have in Pisces? What do you have in Virgo? What do you have in Sagittarius? What do you have in Gemini? Because this is where Neptune would have been squaring these energies for over a decade, right? So that's where you drill down to how has this impacted me personally over the past 10 years or so. So anyway, he's wrapping up a larger story. He'll fully permanently move into Aries January of 2026. So we have a few months ahead of us where we're going to wrap something up before we finally take that leap of faith into something brand new. Same with the story of Saturn, right? We talked about it last month. March of 2023 is when Saturn dived into Pisces, and then he hopped out, and now he's back in there to wrap something up in this area of life, solidify something, test something, crystallize something before he moves on into Aries and creates a new dream that you've been trying to manifest. Probably for some of you, I feel like since 2022, 2023. And again, it's coming, you guys. Just keep doing what you're doing, because this energy doesn't happen overnight, and there's a reason for that, right? Because it's about that journey. It's about those lessons. And have we incorporated them? These planets are testing us. Like, have you incorporated this lesson that I've been trying to teach you for X amount of years, right? Anyway, so Neptune dissolves, Saturn builds, right? So you see kind of the definition there of these two planets. That's a basic, very obviously basic definition of that. And think of it this way, Neptune will not be back into Pisces for 165 years. So I mean, right now we're not living that long, but you never know. With Pluto in Aquarius and Uranus moving into Gemini, I don't know. I think we will start to live way beyond past, I'm thinking 125 years, if not longer. But hey, we'll see. We shall see. Okay. And then, yes, at the end of the month, we do have Mercury moving into Sag, but I'm going to talk about that next month. This month, I'm going to focus on Mercury diving into Scorpio and what that means for each and every one of us. Otherwise, that is about it, you guys. Just a reminder, watch for your rising, watch for your sun or moon, to pull all this information together to give you kind of a high level overview for the month ahead. So let's dive into all 12 signs. Hey Aries, welcome to October. Let's first start off with where the sun is pouring in light, heat, and energy into a couple areas of life for you for the month ahead. So I'm looking at your house of Libra and your house of Scorpio. So your 7th and 8th houses for the month ahead. So he is wrapping up, meaning the sun is wrapping up in your 7th house of relationships. And also you have a new moon here this month as well. So I will come back to that. But what is the 7th house? All about relationships, all about your one-to-one connections. So yes, it could be love. Yes, it could be your marital relationships, but also this house extends out to business relationships, business partnerships, your coworkers, your colleagues, your family members, your friends, basically anybody that you have a one-to-one connection with, or anyone that you have a contractual agreement with. So again, it could be a boss, an authority figure, an offer letter, or it could also be, again, that marital agreement that we sign off on when we get married to another person. And again, some of you are married in a business partnership or married in a business relationship as well. It's the same thing. You're signing on that corporate dotted line, right? So that's where the laser focus is going to be with Venus diving in here. I'll come back to that because she's going to sweeten the pot in this area of life as well. And she should help smooth things over in this area of life as well. Now, once the sun dives into Scorpio, and again, you have Mars here, Mercury is going to be moving in here shortly as well. So the 8th house is definitely a different flavor, a different feel. It still has that connection with another person, right? This is more so marital assets though, partnership assets in a business. So focus could turn financial because the 8th house is a financial house, but it's anything shared with another person. So think debt, mortgages, loans, property, investments, inheritance, anything that you share possibly with another person. And again, this could be family, friends, loved ones. Again, it could extend out to anybody that you're financially connected with as well. 8th house is the house of death and rebirth. So it could be about flushing things out, letting things go, letting go of material possessions, especially with Mars here. Mars cuts and severs. Mars creates kind of like an irritability here, meaning that we have to take action in this area of life. You might be shuffling around finances this month, Aries, or again, finances could just be on your mind. Budgeting, the tax bill comes in. Mortgages, debts, loans could just be more in focus, or maybe you want to consolidate that or move around your money in some way, shape, or form. This is also a house of fear, power, control. Issues could come to the surface, especially with all this energy in there. 8th house is psychological, right? Or sorry, it is psychological, but it's subconscious is what I meant to say. So it's things that are kind of hidden at the back of the mind, the back of the closet, so to speak. And when the sun hops in here, and Mars and Mercury, it's shining a ginormous spotlight on the cobwebs and saying, okay, I'm going to bring up a whole bunch of gunk and junk from the past, Aries. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to suppress it? Which is possible with Mars in here. Mars, your ruler, by the way, operates quite differently when it moves through Scorpio. He suppresses things and then it comes out in other ways. Whereas Mars in your sign, you express it. You get that energy out of you. So I do encourage you to do that, or at least express yourself in private some way, shape, or form, meaning lean on a friend or a loved one. Talk to somebody, talk through the junk and the gunk that is coming up to the surface. Really good energy to work with a social worker, a therapist, whatever you want to call them, somebody that you trust, that you can confide in, right? Again, I encourage you to get it out, up and out of your body instead of continuing to push it down, because this is the time of year where the sun does produce that light heat energy into, like I said, kind of a darker psyche of yourself. Or again, you could be cleaning out the attic, cleaning out the closet, so to speak, getting rid of stuff that reminds you of the past, that perhaps there's a wound there, right? We all have that sitting in the 8th house some way, somehow, even if it's from childhood. And the sun comes around every single year. And also Mars hits this area of life every 2 years for us, kind of saying, giving us that nudge like, hey, now is the time to cut and sever what is no longer working in this area of life. And it could be just as simple as a again, a deep psychological or subconscious thing, bringing it to the conscious and letting it go, thanking it and letting it go, right? I'm making it sound simple, but I understand it's not as simple as that. But hopefully one of those things resonate with you, Aries. So October could be a deep, intense month, and also on top of it, a focus on relationships. Also, 8th house is sexuality. I forgot to mention that as well. So that could be in focus in some way, shape, or form. Or again, bringing that spark back in your relationships, right? Or if you're dating, right? This could definitely bring in a sexual partner for you, Aries, if for example, you're not dating. But again, it depends if you're open. It depends if you're putting yourself out there. So it just depends on your circumstances. Okay, let's go back to, I want to cover the full moon and the new moons this month. So we have a full moon actually in your sign this month, Aries, almost at the middle of your sign. This full moon is in your sign, so I would say it's probably very active. It's going to be an active ending, an active culmination point in at least one area of life, because it is in your first house, Aries. So what do I always say when something's in your first house? It could touch any area of life. So this is where, is your sun at 14 degrees, or give or take a degree or two on either side. If it's your sun sign, this could be an ending or a culmination point or a next chapter in a father figure's life, in a boss's life, or if you're a boss, there could be changes in the people that work with you, work for you in the career environment. This is something to do with career. This is like career flavored, for example, or it could be financial flavored, because the ruler of this full moon is in your 8th house, and the ruler is Mars, which is also your ruler as well, Aries. So relationships, career, home life, partnerships, perhaps, Aries, something to do with your health and well-being. This could be something literally to do with the physical body as well. Like I said, anything in the first house, all bets are off. Anything could really happen, but the consistent factor here is it's going to involve you in some way, shape, or form. Or again, the ending of a contract agreement negotiation, I'm thinking as well. A change of income in some way, shape, or form, or investments, or property. But what is the word I'm thinking of? I'm drawing a blank here. Oh, that's going to bug me. What am I thinking? What are they showing me? They're showing me like, like wills, like when inheritance. There we go. Inheritance. Sorry about that, Aries. Had a huge brain fart there. But yeah, inheritance, they're showing me as well. Something to do with changes in wills or inheritance or something along those lines, or dealing with that possibly this month, or again, investing that possibly this month. Okay, now let's jump across the street to that new moon. And let me see here, 28 degrees of Libra. So again, if you have anything around 28 degrees of Aries, this is going to impact you personally. So again, if it's your sun sign, for example, or the moon sign, the sun is the career, the sun is the father figures. It can also represent you as a manager or a boss or an authority figure. If it's your moon sign, it could have something to do with your home. Quite literally your home, your family, your foundation, your roots, your ancestry, your emotions, your emotional body, or the mother or female figures in your life, Aries. So new beginnings. New moons are technically a new beginning, whether big or small. They are, planting those seeds of intention for something that you want to manifest, or at least turn over a new leaf in 6 months from now, or reap those rewards in 6 months from now. So Aries, this is in your partnership sector, in that 7th house that we were talking about. Anything to do with one-to-one agreements, relationships, connections, contracts, marital agreements, whatever your hopes, wishes, dreams, what you intend in this area of life could be, again, coming to fruition this month, or again, it needs time. It needs a little bit more time to grow, for example. So double check your chart. What do you have at 28 degrees? That's what's also going to add in additional layers to this new moon. Now, excuse me, this new moon is making a square to Jupiter and Pluto as well. So again, this new moon, I'm going to sound like a broken record here, might have a flavor of home, family, foundation, you as a parent, something to do with parenthood, possibly something to do with retirement. Yeah, for you, Aries, I keep hearing something about investments, so I apologize. I keep repeating myself. Squaring to Pluto in your 11th house. This could also have something to do with friendships, friendship groups, friendship circles. Again, your hopes, your wishes, your dreams. I'm hearing something about all walks of life. So people, places, things coming into your life, the internet, social media, putting yourself out there, pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone. This could be a very transformational new moon for you, Aries, depending on, again, how you utilize this energy. This could be, again, new clients, new contracts, new agreements. This is like people coming into your life, or I'm hearing at you, that could possibly change your life, right? So even humanitarian efforts. For those of you that aren't working, I really encourage you to put yourself out there for a greater cause, something bigger than you. Like, you're here for a reason still, right? If you're saying to yourself, well, why am I here if you're not working? If you're working, you're working, I get it. If you're not working, or maybe you're able to just do part-time work, put yourself out there. Help a bigger group of people. Donate. Volunteer your time, money, your effort, whatever the case may be. Some of you content creators, I can see that as well. Like, it's kind of like sharing your gifts, talents, your abilities to a higher, wider audience, and monetizing that, because Pluto is in the 11th house for you, and that's all about big gains, Aries. It's your time to reap those big gains. Pluto was in Capricorn there for long enough. So from 2008 to 2023, Pluto was in your 10th house of career. Now it's time to reap the rewards with Pluto in the 11th house. So this new moon might have something to do with that as well. Okay, let's go back to the personal planets here. So hopefully you watched my intro video where I talked about Mars, Mercury, and Venus. So as I mentioned, Venus is coming out of your 6th house into your 7th house of partnerships. This sweetens the pot for you, Aries. I would say go after that client, go after that contract, go after that agreement. Some of you could be getting engaged. Some of you could be getting married. And if that's the case, beautiful time to do it while Venus is transiting Libra. Plus you got a new moon there. So it's a brand new fresh start with a relationship in love or in business. For those of you looking for love, Aries, I would say put yourself out there, because Venus in the 7th house, Mars in your 8th house of sexuality, you could definitely attract in a partner at this time. And again, the sun is supporting you from a light heat energy perspective, and also that new moon, that fresh new beginning that's coming in that 7th house. Also, Aries, go after that promotion, go after that, whatever, bonuses, commissions, anything to do with money, finances, resources. I'd say go after it as well. Mars and Mercury are going to make you laser focused when it comes to finances as well. I know, I feel like I've mentioned that like 100 times now. What else? Yeah, just be mindful, as I mentioned earlier in the video, to use your words as weapons, Aries. All this energy might make us pretty short and direct with people. And don't get me wrong, some people appreciate it, but some people don't, right? So just gauge your audience, put on the white gloves when you need to, Aries, and you can take them off when you're when you are able to, I should say. Otherwise, that is pretty much all I wanted to talk about for the month ahead, Aries. So I wish you a wonderful month ahead, and we'll see you back here in November. Bye for now. Hey Taurus, welcome to the month of October, and let's break down your month ahead. So first I'm going to start off where the sun is moving in this area of life for you. Well, I should say 2 areas of life for you, Taurus. So your 6th house, your 7th house, Libra and Scorpio are going to be highlighted this month. So your 6th house, the sun is still there as we speak, I guess, depending on when you're watching this video, but the sun is infusing this 6th house. Plus you have a brand new beginning here, which I'll come back to in a second here. But what is the 6th house? It's a very busy day-to-day house. It's like Taurus, I'm hearing, who are you slaving over? Who are you slaving after? I'm hearing that loud and clear. Is it family? Is it friends? Is it loved ones? Is it a job? This is your day-to-day duty and responsibility house. This is also your health, your well-being, your fitness, your diet, your routines, your exercise routines. Pets and animals are in this area of life as well. The workplace is housed in here, co-workers, colleagues. If you're a boss, Taurus, this is people that report up, roll up under you as well. So, oh, some of you are very busy because I can feel it. My God, I feel like, I feel like weighed down, almost like a headache is coming on, my friends. So please take care of yourself. I don't want to sound like an old nag here, but yeah, I'm definitely feeling it. I could feel it in my head, especially for you, Aries. Maybe some of you are dealing with a cold too. That could be maybe the headache stuffiness I'm kind of feeling up here. Anyway, once the sun gets out of here, my friends, actually once Venus hops into this area of life, which is going to happen in the middle of the month, that is going to, I feel like, soothe and ease this area of life. This is going to ease up in this 6th house. So I'm definitely going to come back to that, Taurus. But anyway, once the sun moves into your 7th house, which is loaded, by the way, you got Mars in here, you're going to eventually have Mercury in here. And then once the sun touches this area of life, it's all about relationships. So your focus is then going to turn to love. And yeah, I'm also hearing money. So, okay, maybe some of you are focused in on money as well, which is totally fine. One-to-one connections, one-to-one relationships. This could be family, friends, marital partnerships, business partnerships. 7th house is also your clients as well, Taurus. So for those of you that own a business, run a business, this would be your clientele. It's those who you attract into your business. So that's where the focus is going to be. Perhaps new contracts, agreements, negotiations, possibly new people coming in. I'm hearing new people, places, and things. Taurus, coming at you, coming towards you this month. You could be signing on the dotted line as well, my friends, with something, right? With something or someone this month. Or perhaps some of you are going through a separation, because Mars in here, he only comes around once every 2 years, he hits this area of life for you. So perhaps you're cutting, ending, severing, or ending a relationship or ending a contract. Now, if you're solid in a relationship, please don't panic. I'm just saying, for those of you that know exactly what I'm talking about and this resonates, Mars is going to help you cut and sever that relationship, clean it up, and then you'll be able to move on with your life, so to speak. But again, this could also be new relationships coming in, new people coming in. Mercury, the communicator, chit, 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 chat, right, Taurus? So again, apply this to your circumstance, because I don't have your personal birth chart sitting in front of me, but I can see this going either way for you this month, Taurus. Again, it's however you want to use the energy. Okay, let's jump to the full moon and the new moon. So the full moon this month is happening on the 6th of October at 14 degrees of Aries. And this full moon is in your hidden 12th house, Taurus. And next month, we're going to have a full moon in your sign. So 12th house is interesting. It's kind of like what happens behind closed doors. It's also the psyche. It's like the subconscious, so to speak, or it has that feeling of that. So this full moon is about preparing you for possibly a brand new cycle, possibly nudging you into stepping into a brand new fresh start, a new way of thinking about yourself, how you treat yourself. I'm seeing a mirror, Taurus. I feel like maybe this full moon has something to do with how you're treating yourself and your body, and something to do with, for some reason, I'm picking up diet, nutrition, health. It's almost like how you're feeding yourself, Taurus. Not something normal that I pick up for the 12th house, but again, if that's what they're chattering about, they must be picking up on someone's energy here. This is about solitude, rest, reflection. It's about thinking to yourself, where is my time, my energy, my effort being spent? Going back to that 6th house, because it is shining a spotlight in that 6th house, technically. Again, it's illuminating both axes. So it could be about something about that day to day that you're doing that needs to be released, needs to be let go once and for all. That's like not suiting you, Taurus, but I feel like a lot of you have too much on your plate. So something does need to be let go. And I would highly encourage you, if the eclipses didn't help you last month with getting rid of something, especially that South Node eclipse in Virgo, I would encourage you to try to let go of something in that 6th house once and for all. Because I feel like it's or even decluttering, they're showing me even something to do with decluttering, so you can feel lighter, so you can feel lighter and take back some of your time for yourself, my friends, because you're not useful to anyone if you're just like dog tired or you're sick or you're run down. You can't be there for everyone, Taurus. But anyway, I don't want to harp on you about that. 12th house is also your hidden gifts, talents, and abilities. It's also a very spiritual house as well. So spirituality, awakenings, dreams, solitude. Again, it's me time. It's you time, Taurus. Okay. Also, the ruler of this full moon is in your 7th house. So again, it could be an ending, a culmination point with a friendship, a love relationship, a marriage, a contract agreement, a negotiate something. There could be something with a one-to-one connection that needs to end, for example. Or again, maybe you just need to distance yourself from this person. That could be another thing as well. Okay, let's jump to that new moon, new beginning in that 6th house that I was talking about, that heavy, heavy day to day. So again, incorporate new routines, new diet, new nutrition. I don't want to repeat myself, Taurus, and drive you nuts, but I sort of covered some of them. This is about putting you first, prioritizing yourself. This could also be a new relationship, a signature for a new relationship as well, if you're interested. Venus coming into the 6th house, it could mean that you might meet somebody at work. And then Mars in that 7th house, again, it's charging up that sexual type of energy that's coming into the 7th house of partnerships, of marriage, right? And if you are married and connected with someone, try to reignite that spark. If it doesn't happen this month, I think it's going to happen next month, especially with Mars moving into your 8th house, which we'll talk about next month. But this is that sexual energy, right? That sexual chemistry that could be coming in. Again, whether you're connected to a person or you're open to meeting someone new, it is possible this month. I'm also hearing love is closer than you think, my friends. Venus in the 6th house, again, should smooth things over in this area of life. I don't know if she'll make it less busy for you, but I think she's going to help you take a step back and think about you. She is your ruler after all, Taurus. Also, she is money and finances as well. So again, new work opportunities could be coming in this month. New moon in Libra in your 6th house. Quite literally could be a new contract, a new offer letter, a new client coming your way. Or again, if you're looking for someone to work for you or with you, Taurus, whether it's to do stuff around the house or to, I don't know, build you a website or whatever the case may be, the 6th house is also people that work for us, like contractors. So not a bad time to search out for that contractor. You might be able to find someone really fantastic, especially under this new moon that is happening on the 21st of the month, give or take a day or two, depending on where you are on the planet. Now, this new moon, though, is squaring up to Pluto and Jupiter, and it's opposing Chiron. So let's see here. Could be about a family member. Could be about a home family living situation, like your local community, your local vicinity. It could be challenges with possibly a neighbor or a relative or a sibling for that matter. It could be challenges, Taurus, or it could be, again, don't bite off more than you can chew, my friends, because I can also see that coming in. That's what Jupiter does sometimes. Jupiter wants to bring in blessings and abundance, and he wants to keep expanding you. But sometimes it leads to taking on too much, Taurus. So that's another thing. Don't take on any more than you can handle, especially around this new moon in Libra, because Pluto upstairs in your 10th house, I can see some of you are taking on too much at work. And I think I mentioned that earlier. or taking on too much with regards to whatever parenting or parenthood means to you, or something to do with your parents. Taking care of your parents, or your family putting a lot on you. I can see it being family or work, or something to do with your local environment. So like neighbors and relatives and siblings and all that fun jazz. Okay, so just something to be mindful of around this, specifically around the new moon. Again, nothing bad, but I can just see you taking on too much, my friends. And again, opposing that Chiron, there's like a wound that's being scratched. It's like something being opened up again. It's like opening up a can of worms again. It's like Aunt Josie brings up this crap from years ago, and suddenly it comes into your mind, and it's like, oh my God, why did they bring that up from the past? Things like that, because I'm seeing, people's celebrations sitting around the dining room table, and you're reminiscing about the past, and suddenly someone brings up something and it kind of irks you a little bit, right? It could be something like that as well. And the reason why I don't mean to go down the Debbie Downer hole with this, but these are squares, my friends. These are not trines. These are not harmonious things that are coming in. It's just watch out for these things creeping into your mind, because then now you know. This is what I love about astrology. Now you know, you can nip it in the bud and be like, nope, I'm not gonna let that bug me. I'm not gonna let that relative bug me. No, I'm not gonna say yes to one more person. I'm not gonna take on all this work. I'm gonna share the load with my siblings. I'm gonna share the load with my colleagues. Like, that's what this energy is about, is noticing what you're noticing. And just know, Taurus, you don't have to do everything by yourself, right? That's what this new moon is asking you to do. Is there is a new opportunity here to change your day-to-day duty and responsibility for the better, right? Or like I said, maybe it's just a job offer coming in, right? Which is, could be a really amazing opportunity as well, especially with your ruler in this area of life too. Okay, and then if you listened hopefully to the beginning of my video where I dived into, Mars and Mercury in Scorpio, and the energy that could bring. Again, just keep in mind, Scorpio is a bit of a double-edged sword, Taurus. So this being in your relationship sector, I think you're going to have quite a sharp tongue on you this month when it comes to your one-to-one connections. So do keep that in mind. I would say take the higher road with this energy. Try not to use your words as weapons, because I can definitely see the potential of that this month. But I see the possibility of you just standing up for yourself as well, and you articulating what your expectations are and what your needs are with another person. Again, it could be marriage, it could be love, it could be business, it could be work, it could be with your clients. Boundaries. I'm thinking boundaries, right? Because I'm also looking at Saturn and Neptune in that 11th house. So, yeah, Taurus, not a bad month ahead. I'm not saying, please don't take this as like a Debbie Downer. But I feel like, yeah, some of you you're just doing too much, my friends. Oh, you're doing too much because you just care so much, right? But anyway, for those of you open for love, yeah, it definitely could be full on this month as well. Go after that raise, go after that promotion, Taurus, if you're interested in it. With Pluto upstairs in your 10th house, just getting started, my goodness, like wealth, putting in the work should be coming down the pipe for you. But again, this is slow and steady. This is like a 20-year transit, or I guess an 18-year transit now. We've been in this for a while, but this is about bringing in the wealth. And Pluto is asking you to get authentically true to you of what career and status and reputation mean to you. This is also in a parental axis as well. So if you have kids, this incorporates, your parenting style and also your relationship with your parents as well, Taurus. Anyway, that is pretty much all I wanted to talk about for the month ahead. So enjoy, Taurus, and we'll see you back here in November. Bye for now. Hey, Gemini, welcome to October. So let's start with the sun and what areas of life he is energizing for you this month by bringing in that light, that heat, that energy. So as we speak, the sun is still in Libra, or I guess it depends on when you're watching this video. But the sun is energizing this beautiful 5th house for you, where you have a new beginning and where Venus is going to be hopping into this month. And keep in mind, anything that hops into Libra or Aquarius technically makes a trine to your planets, placements, or points, Gemini. So I think you are going to like this energy, especially the fifth house. Fifth house is all about children and grandchildren, love, abundance, romance, dating, creativity, those creative projects, those hobbies, anything to do with your self-expression. Yeah, I'm specifically hearing painting and artwork for definitely some of you out there. And the fifth house is about your childlike hopes, wishes, and dreams. It's that question that we get asked when we're kids. What do you want to be when you grow up? And you say like a gazillion things, right? It's like getting back into that childhood sort of theme in a good way to bring out your creative self-expression here. Fifth house is also fertility and pregnancy as well. So I do want to throw that out there because we do have the sun, Venus, and a new moon here at brand new beginning. So that could also be a possibility as well. So if you are looking to start a family, I would definitely take advantage of this new moon energy that's happening this month for you on or around the 21st. Because you never know, especially with Venus coming in here as well. Okay, and I'll come back to your fifth house here in a second. So once the sun joins the party in Scorpio here, this amps up your sixth house, Gemini. So you also, as much as your fifth house is illuminated, which is probably a good thing, you're going to need this balance because the sixth house is loaded with planets starting this month as well. So if you're not busy now, Gemini, I think that's really going to ramp up, especially middle of the month, perhaps even sooner. So the good thing is Mars and Mercury in here is going to make you very sharp, very intelligent. Mercury, by the way, is your planet, your ruler. So it's going to make you laser focused on work or laser focused about how can I be of service. So if you're not working, apply this to your circumstance. If you're not working, by the way, I would highly encourage you and push you to do something for the greater good. Do something for your community. Donate your energy, your time, your money, whatever you can do. Even if it's, I don't know, doing something for a neighbor, doing something nice for your neighbor, or I don't know, baking cookies or baking things or cooking things, making things for the neighborhood or something. Contribute, like you got to move this energy is kind of what I'm getting at here. But also it's going to light you up from the inside out if you contribute to a greater good is basically what I'm getting at here. But for those of you that are in a 9-to-5 grind, or if you own your business, run your own business, I should say, this energy is going to give you the oomph to do so. I would just caution you, don't burn the candle at both ends, my friends, because that's also the energy of Mars and Mercury and the sun in here, because it makes us so passionate about what we're trying to accomplish. It could lead to burnout, my friends. So just make sure you are incorporating that balance. And this is what I love about this month is we have Venus coming into the sign of balance, of harmony in Libra. So I feel like that's going to really help balance the energy of all that heavy energy moving into Scorpio, especially for you. The sixth house is very, very, very busy. Sixth house is also about, there could be movement in the workplace, like people coming and going, or people leaving, like quitting or getting terminated, or new people coming into the workspace. Now, if you own a business, run a business, with Mars and Mercury in here, you could cut and sever a contract with someone or something, right? So you could quit your job. You could, not saying all of you will, because again, I also see this as an energy of nose to the grindstone, and you're going to get a lot done this month. But for some of you that are irritable with your job, this could be an opportunity to cut it loose, right? Same with an employee that works for you, let's say, or a contractor that works for you. Say somebody built you a website and you're like, you know what, we're done here. Cut and sever that contract. Now is a good time to do that because Mars only comes around every 2 years in this area of life. So I would say take advantage of this, Gemini, because it'll give you also the courage to do so. To, again, get rid of people that in your business that it's just not working anymore, my friend. So don't be afraid to do that. Also, Mercury in here is going to make you an excellent communicator, but just be mindful. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you guys watched my intro, Mercury in a Mars-ruled sign our words can be used as weapons. This could be on the keyboard. This could be, again, the trolls coming out of the trenches and, you know, all the keyboard heroes out there. Unfortunately, that's what's going to be coming up, right? I would recommend to take this energy higher, Gemini. But I'm saying for you in particular in the workspace, your words could be quite blunt, direct to the point. So again, I would just recommend to gauge your audience, right? Just know who you're speaking with, know who you can talk blunt to, and who you need to kind of put the white gloves on and manage a little bit there. So anyway, just kind of some food for thought. All right, let's jump to the new moon and full moon. So we have a full moon in Aries, 14 degrees on the 6th of October. And if you have anything at 14 degrees Gemini, this is going to add in another layer, for example. So if it's your sun sign, it's something to do with a career or something to do with father figures in your life. So changes in those areas of life. So full moon in your 11th house. This could manifest as 11th house item or a 5th house item because full moons shine a spotlight on both axes, both sides of the house here. So 11th house, this could be endings, culmination point, or changes with an older sibling or siblings in general. Friendship circles, groups, people you hang out with, personal or professional associations, affiliations, networking. This is also your role within these groups and affiliations and associations. So again, think something is coming to a culmination point this month. 11th house is also social media, the internet. I already said networking, but they keep saying networking. All I keep hearing is something about networking. So that's definitely going to be maybe important for some of you out there this month. The 11th house is the future. This is about your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, and your long-term commitments and goals. The 11th house is also humanitarian effort. So again, if you're not working, I encourage you to lean into this area of life and think about the bigger picture, the greater good. How can you contribute in some small or some big way? It doesn't matter. As long as you're moving the energy, that's what counts, basically. Okay, or like I said, it might shine a spotlight in this 5th area of life where you have a new moon this month. So this is that 5th house we talked about. So children, grandchildren, love, romance, dating, self-expression, creativity. For those of you open to meet someone new, it definitely could be full on this month because like I said, you have a full moon shining down in this area of life. You have a new moon in this area of life. You have the sun in this area of life until the middle of the month, of course. And you have Venus here all month long. Let me just double check that. Yeah, she's here all month long. And then next month she hops into Scorpio. So man, Gemini, if you are looking for someone, I would suggest to definitely put yourself out there. You never know. Because again, you have a double whammy this month, double signature this month of new beginnings with regards to romance, dating, maybe even a creative project. So again, if you're not interested in that, a new project, birthing a new project, right? Some of you have new grandbabies on the way, by the way. Some of you don't even know this. They're saying that you have some grandbabies coming in because they're showing me like little souls, little baby souls trying to come in to the earthly plane here. So we got some new grandbabies, a new wave of grandbabies coming in here, which makes sense. Again, pregnancy signature here with all this energy pouring into the 5th house. So again, if you want to meet someone, put those intentions out there that you want to bring in that relationship, Gemini. Okay, let's see here. Also, I was going to say this month you might cut and sever a relationship with a membership, like a group, affiliation, association. I'm also picking that up as well, and forgive me if I already mentioned that, but the ruler of this full moon up in Aries, not to bounce around too much here, is in your 6th house, right? So again, you could be cutting, ending, severing some sort of relationship, some sort of one-to-one connection here. We already talked about a work connection, but I'm also picking up some of you, it's like a group affiliation or connection, and that's okay. You know, like that's definitely fine. If it's past its expiry date, it's meant to, you know, move along, and then something new will be coming in to take its place, so to speak. Not in a negative way, but I mean, that's just how life is, right? Friendship circles, networking, associations aren't meant to stick in our lives forever. Don't get me wrong, some people do. If they do, it's more so like a soul connection. You know, it's that twin flame energy. Yes, we can have multiple twin flames, by the way. It's not just one twin flame and that's it. Like, we can have a twin flame in a friend that sticks by our side through and through for life. It doesn't always have to be a love or marital partnership. So for you, Gemini, for some reason, that's coming in really, really, really strong. So again, reassess those connections this month with groups, affiliations, associations. This could even be unions as well, and your role within these groups as well. That it might be asking you to change something with that as well. Okay, I think, did we cover everything? Oh, also the new moon in Libra. Sorry, forgive me, Gemini. I feel like I'm all over the map here. So the new moon in Libra that's happening on the 21st is squaring Jupiter in your second house and is squaring Pluto up in your ninth house. So I would just say, Gemini, be mindful of biting off more than you can chew. Be mindful of breaking the bank on something, like doing a really big expenditure. If you have the means to do so, I'd say go ahead. Like, for example, a mortgage or whatever, right? Or a business loan. You got to do what you got to do. But this energy could be about stretching yourself too far financially or for somebody else. Again, could be a friend, could be a family member, could be this group association, this affiliation you're connected to, like I was feeling earlier. Could be somebody at a distance, or something like somebody overseas, like across borders here, they're kind of showing me. Also, this is also kind of affecting educational pursuits here. So again, are you the type of person that's buying, spending thousands of dollars on courses and you're not following through? So again, not trying to be a Debbie Downer, but I can see that around this new moon of just taking on too much, because that's what Jupiter brings in, is the excess. And then the Pluto energy is more of like a transformational kind of a gut punch type of energy, where you don't realize it until after the fact, till it's like come and gone, and then you have to deal with it at a later time, right? Because Jupiter doesn't know any better. Jupiter is just trying to bring you expansion when it comes to your skills, your talents, your abilities, your work, your skill set, your finances. Basically, Jupiter is trying to line your pockets, but he's trying to do it by any means necessary, which is not always healthy, I'm going to say, for us humans, right? Because we're dense energies. We have dense bodies, and Jupiter doesn't know that, right? So Jupiter's like, yeah, don't eat, don't sleep, just keep working, and then you'll become a millionaire, right? But in the meantime, you get sick, you get run down, and then you're useless to everybody, Gemini. So again, that's my only, I guess, something to watch out for around this this new moon. But they're showing me it's, you know, all month long the energy is here. So anyway, Gemini, enjoy the month ahead. Lean into that fun fifth house energy, and I think you're going to be absolutely fine, because again, that Libran energy is going to bring in that balance, that joy, that fun, that harmony that you definitely need this month, Gemini. So, or some of you might need, I should say, this month. Not all of you, but some of you. Enjoy the month ahead, my friends, and we'll see you back here in November. Bye for now. Hey, Cancer, welcome to October, and let's talk about where I think some of the focus is going to be for you for the month ahead, but also where there's a lot of energy coming in multiple areas of life. So let's break this down. I'm going to start with the sun as usual. So the sun is bringing in light heat energy into your fourth house and fifth house, but we also have, that's where all the personal planets are this month as well. So Cancer, surprise, surprise. Focus is on home, family, foundation. The reason why I'm laughing is because you are the epitome of home, family, foundation. You're like the glue, Cancer, that keeps people together. Maybe your little tiny family unit or your large, ginormous family unit. You know, for those of you that have these huge, ginormous families and you are the glue that keeps everybody together. You never forget a holiday, a birthday. You're always the one bringing people to the table, so to speak. So that is going to continue this month with all this energy in Libra. And I'm going to come back to this because you have a new beginning downstairs in your 4th house as well. Now, all this energy is going to slowly but surely move into Scorpio. You already have Mars there. Mercury is joining the party, and the Sun will eventually get there on or around the 22nd, depending on where you are on the planet. So 5th house is, again, very nice energy. It's lighter energy, but it's lighter energy, but not, because it's Scorpio, right? So Scorpio can sometimes bring the intensity, the heat, the passion. Not a bad thing if you're open to meeting someone new, by the way. So if you're looking for new love, looking for new partnership, I would say put yourself out there, Cancer. You might find love within your local vicinity, or you might have a connection to them because they're showing me the roots. Like you might have a local hometown connection to this person, or you're both from small towns, or you have some sort of connection from that perspective with this individual. Or a family member actually might hook you up with someone, like maybe somebody knows somebody at work, or knows a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend, or something like that, and hooks you up with this person. That's a possibility as well. I know a lot of people don't like blind dates, but I would say, Cancer, if you are looking and you are open, I would just say give it a try, right? Just give it a try. You just never know. There's also a lot of sexual energy coming into that 5th house as well, Cancer. So again, excellent for romance, dating, that spark that gets ignited when we meet somebody new. And I also feel like, Cancer, you're just going to know, right? You're just going to feel that connection, and you're going to know. Scorpio is very black and white energy. You either like the person or you're not going to like the person. And you're just going to know, my friends, because Mercury is in here. And also, Cancer, you're a water sign. As I always say, all the water signs are psychic, whether they realize it or not. It just depends on, are you working that muscle, right? Are you working that psychic muscle? It's like anything else. Practice makes perfect, so to speak. Well, yes and no, but you know what I mean. Like it's like if you tune into it and lean into it, I think it would really surprise you, Cancer. But anyway, for those of you in a solid relationship or a marital relationship, this is really nice energy regardless, to bring the passion back, to bring the spice back. Go out on an active date, do some yard work together, do some housework together, just do something together, maybe do a hot tub or a sauna, sweat it out, whatever the case may be. 5th house is also creativity, self-expression. It's also a pregnancy house as well. Could be a signature of that. I'm more so seeing that next month, Cancer. But again, not all of you, I get it, are trying to make babies or have babies, but I'm also thinking 5th house is grandchildren, right? So your grandchildren could be in focus. I'm thinking this month as well, especially with Mercury and Mars in there. You might definitely hear from a grandchild or a child in general. Or again, there could be thoughts of a family, discussions of starting a family, planning for parenthood, things like that. Because again, 4th house, 5th house energy is coming together, and you have such concentrated energy at the bottom of your sky here, Cancer. Nice thing, when the Sun, Mercury, and Mars moves into Scorpio, they are pouring in harmonious energy into your planets, placements, points. So depending if you're working or not, if it's your sun sign, it'll definitely help out in the career sector. If it's your moon sign, that's home, family, foundation. Really good for renovations, by the way, or painting the home, or beautifying the home, bringing in a little bit of feng shui into the home. If it's your rising sign, this could be about partnerships, whether it's clients, people that work with you, for you, employers, Or again, love partnerships could be in focus as well, Cancer. Also maybe something to do with you, your physical body, your physical well-being. Rising sign, I'm thinking, is, you know, it's the lenses, the glasses we wear that we walk into this world. So it could be putting, for some reason, a focus on that for some, you know, for some, they're saying for some reason. So again, I feel like some of you, if that resonates, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's something that you need to change how you see something, they're saying. Again, it's the lens you wear. Something needs to change with respect to that. Or again, it could mean some people need glasses. Could mean that as well. But anyway, lots of energy here in this 4th house, 5th house. So let's go to the full moon and the new moons this month. They are in prominent angles for you this month, Cancer. So this could bleed out into multiple areas of life, I'm going to say. Or that's the possibility or potential here. So a full moon at the very top of your sky, Cancer, at 14 degrees. Keep in mind, this is an ending, a culmination point. This could be changes in your life or changes with a parent, mother, father, authority figures. Bosses could be changing up, or changes in a boss's life, or maybe if you are the boss, Cancer, something could be changing here. Maybe some new expectations are coming in through the workspace, could be a possibility. Something to do with you as a parent, something could be changing here. I'm hearing some of you are empty nesters, or will be empty nesters soon, or maybe you already are. So it's about changing the dynamics at home, downsizing, possibly. Again, you don't have to, but these are just ideas and things that they're showing me as well. Now, this full moon could also mean an ending, a culmination point on the home front. And I'm going to repeat myself here, because you see the two lunations this month is at the top of your sky and the bottom of your sky. So technically it could impact either or. Like either area of life could be impacted or highlighted or changed in some way, shape, or form. And again, it could bleed into your relationships, marriage, love, business, clients, whatever the case may be. And then all the things we talked about, the 5th house, that could also come into this 10th house, something to do with status and reputation and what you're known for. Retirement could be coming up as well, or thoughts of retirement, planning for a rainy day, so to speak. Or maybe some of you are thinking about owning your own business, running your own business, like putting yourself out there, especially with Neptune and Saturn wrapping up in your 9th house, and then they're going to eventually move back into your 10th house there in the new year. Not until 2026. They're going to move back there. Now, the new moon at sort of more so the end of the month on the 21st at 28 degrees of Libra, new beginnings on the home front. So I know I'm repeating myself here, but again, it could impact either area of life for you. So new family members coming into the picture, meeting new family members, meeting new relatives, something to do with your roots or your ancestry could be coming into focus. Quite literally, some of you, if this is your true 4th house, if your IC runs through here, could be new jobs. Could be, if I didn't already mention that, this could be a new career move. This could be a new client coming your way. This could be landing a big promotion, a big job. This could be about going after whatever it is you want from a career perspective. This could be work-life balance coming into focus. This could be moving, quite literally moving home. That's only if you want it to, and I would also have to see your chart. I would say, where is your home line? Where is your 4th house cusp? Or maybe some of you want to move. Maybe some of you want to renovate, move, whatever the case may be. Lots of energy in the 4th house. I can see that could be where your focus is as well. I would also encourage you with Venus here, you could do a little feng shui in the house. I think I mentioned that earlier. Change up your living space, beautify the living space to make it more comfortable for you in the meantime, right? So for those of you that want to move, just keep doing what you're doing, plant those seeds of intention this month. And for now, just incorporate small changes. You don't have to break the bank to do stuff like this. Some of you, again, if you have the means to do so, go nuts. But again, for those of you that it's sort of like a temporary situation, make it comfortable. Might as well make it comfortable, my friends, right? But anyway, this new moon could mean lots of different things. Like I said, family. I'm also hearing new friends or new, some of you could be taking the next step with a friend. So maybe a friend turns into more of a relationship type of connection here as well. This is, some of you could be moving into retirement. This could be some of you, the past coming back around, old love coming back around from the past, or running into people from the past, old family, old friends, old colleagues, relatives you haven't seen in a long time. Because again, did I mention earlier? Yeah, they're showing me the dinner table, right? We are celebrating Thanksgiving in Canada. So I'm seeing that, like the dinner table, everybody's gathering around the dinner table, right? And you're seeing people that you haven't seen in a long time. And it's really nice energy coming in this month, Cancer. I think you're going to enjoy it. But don't forget to, some of this energy might challenge you to push yourself outside of your comfort zone and make some changes on the home front or the career front or in your relationships to make it work. That's kind of what I'm hearing. The new moon is being challenged by Pluto and Jupiter in your sign. So I guess I always harp on you about this, Cancer, and I apologize because it always seems to come up for you. But this is quite literally, I'm seeing it in the astrology. Don't take on too much with regards to family stuff. And same with work stuff. Because some of you, yes, you could be getting the job of your dreams or a promotion or going after a promotion. But guess what comes with that? More work, more duty, more responsibility. Plus some of you, most Cancerians I know, actually have a heavy family base, meaning they are the brick. They are it for the family, even though there's lots of family members, but you seem to be either the breadwinner, the sole provider, or the parent or the loved one or the sister or the brother or whoever that, you know, people always lean on you for that support, right, my friends? So the reason why, I don't want to make this a negative reading, okay? Don't take this as negative. Take this as a heads up. Notice what you're noticing this month. See what comes down the pipe this month. And if you have a family member or work that says, hey, can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do this? Practice saying no. Some of you might have to practice saying that. Now, if you're saying to yourself, no, Stacey, I'm going to take on everything. I'm here to help. I don't care. No, I don't want to say no. Then you do you, my friends. But just know you might need to make adjustments later on. And I would just caution that you don't burn yourself out. Because I can see that when Mars and Mercury and Venus move into the 6th house, and that's where you're going to have a retrograde there, a Mercury retrograde. So the anything that you're putting into motion this month, keep in mind you might need to reassess it in December and November, or both, right? So like I said, I'm not trying to be negative. Please don't take it as negative. I like astrology as kind of the heads up. Like, hey, don't bite off more you can chew this month. Make sure you're thinking of yourself and your family, but it doesn't mean your family rules the roost, right? Because who's holding up the roost? It's you, right, Cancer? It's you. It's all about your duties and responsibilities at home and at work. And you're trying to balance that. Plus, you're trying to balance your health. So anyway, I don't want to harp and I don't want to sound like an old bag. It always seems to come up with you folks, so I do apologize, but I'm seeing it in the astrology. So there's a reason it could be coming to light this month and something could be coming to your attention this month. All right, Cancer, enjoy the month ahead and we'll see you back here in November. Bye for now. Hey, Leo, welcome to October. Let's break down the month ahead and see where I think some of your focus could be for the month ahead. So as always, we start with your ruler, the sun. So the sun is energizing your 3rd house and your 4th house this month. So he's still in the 3rd house as we speak, I guess, depending on when you're watching this video, Leo. But the 3rd house is a very busy house. It's all about the mind, the lower mind, communication. So think text messages, communications, emails, running here, running there. It's the focus on the local environment, the local community. 3rd house is also educational pursuits or perhaps upgrading your skill set. Siblings, cousins, neighbors also lie in the 3rd house. There we go. The third house as well. Third house is also internet, social media. It's the light social butterfly type of house. And I'm also hearing, Leo, some of you, you're getting flirty with somebody online. I'm hearing that loud and clear, which actually, yeah, would make sense. What am I thinking? Venus coming into your third house. Okay, that makes sense. But anyway, yes, flirt it up online, Leo. If you are single and looking, Venus coming into this third house, incredible energy to find somebody local in your local vicinity. So Venus is at home here. And also, anything that pours into Libra is making opportunity aspects to your planets, placements, points, Leo. So I guess depending on what you're watching for, regardless, it definitely could attract in new love, attract in new business partnerships, attract in maybe even beautifying the home front. I'm feeling for you as well, especially if you're a Leo moon watching. I feel like that would be more maybe resonate with you. But anyway, I don't want to go down the rabbit hole here. But so that is the third house. I'm going to come back to this third house because you have a new beginning in this area of life as well. So the sun moving into your fourth house this month, Leo, that's going to bring an intensity to your home, family, living space or living situation. You already have Mars there and you have Mercury joining the party there this month as well. And Leo, this is squaring your energies this month. Not a bad thing, but I would just say, Leo, watch your words, watch your intentions. This is for all of us, by the way. I'm not picking on all the Leos out there. If you listen to the first part of my video, I sort of described the energies of Scorpio and what it means for Mars and Mercury diving into Scorpio. Sometimes our words can be used to hurt people, right? We're looking for that reaction from people, and it could be subconscious. A lot of us won't even realize that we're doing it, right? But because this is squaring your energy, Leo, it would be the same message for Aquarius and the same message for the Taurians out there. With this loaded energy in a fixed area of life, this could come back around and sting you, Leo, is what I'm getting at. You know, the big stinger that Scorpio has. So Leo, again, I'm not saying this is going to happen for everyone. I just want you to notice it this month, right? If you're feeling angry or frustrated at whatever, you fill in the blank, right? It could be a home, a family, a living situation, your kids, your parents. Something might irritate you this month. I just recommend don't shove it down. Don't shove it down, my friends. Express it, articulate yourself, because Mercury here is very sharp, very intelligent. And that's what I like about this energy. And it's going to help couples. It's going to help whoever you're living with to get down to the bottom of what the problem is, what the issue is. Same thing with if this was anything to do with the career sector. So, for example, Leo, say Mars was your career planet or one of your career planets, right? It would be about that laser focus, getting to the bottom of things at work. So channel this energy constructively is what I'm getting at. Excellent, excellent, excellent energy, Leo. If you're looking to move, if you're looking to buy new property or sell or get rid of things around the home, again, Mars cuts and severs. So have a garage sale, sell things online, give things away, renovate the home. Again, going back to the beautifying your space, I was getting ahead of myself there because I can see that you could be starting that now with Venus making aspects to you. But once Venus moves into Scorpio next month, that's another sort of signature or energy that's coming in, Leo, that to beautify your space, make things more comfortable, allow things to work for you, Leo. Work with the energy, not against the energy. Utilize the energy as best as you can, basically. But man, Leo, you can channel this into if you're building a home, buying a home, renovating, like I said, buying, selling stuff, getting rid of things. Excellent, excellent, excellent energy to do that, Leo. Excellent energy to do that. Okay, let's see here. Let's jump to the new moon and the full moon. So the full moon this month lands in your 9th house. Now, if you have anything, Leo, at 14 degrees, So if it's your sun sign, this could have something to do with the career front or father figures in your life. Like I said, the moon sign could be home, family, foundation, place of living, people that you live with. Again, think endings, culmination points, or something to do with changes in the mother's life. And if it's your rising sign, it could be related to partnerships as well. Remember, when I say partnerships, it's not all about love and marriage. It's about our work commitments, the offer letters that we sign with employers. This could be about, if you own a business, run a business, this could be about your clientele, your clients, or your image, Leo. Maybe something about your image is shifting or changing. Maybe you're getting some work done on the body, or again, it could be about being an Aries. It could be about getting in shape, leaning out the muscles, for example, or spicing up that metabolism in some way, shape, or form, Leo. So full moon. So with that in mind, in general, full moon in your 9th house, this is illuminating, again, think endings and culmination. So religion, spirituality, legal matters or legal issues or legal battles or anything to do with the court system or justice system. This is an educational house. You actually have endings and new beginnings on the educational axes in general this month. So teaching, mentoring, coaching, training, upgrading your skill set, going back to school, finishing up school, changing up semesters, changing up degrees, changing up what you want to do when it comes to sort of your intentions of learning something new. This is also in a house of long distance. So long distance traveling could be on the menu for you this month, traveling for work, business, leisure, pleasure, whatever you want to call it, or people at a distance could be coming into focus this month as well. This is about dealing with people from all over the globe, all walks of life, Leo, especially if you either have a job that involves global matters, or a business. I'm thinking your clientele is kind of what I'm thinking about as well. Leo, this is also about pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone in some way, shape, or form in this area of life. Or again, what is this full moon touching in your personal birth chart? That's also going to add in additional layers here to what could culminate at or around this full moon. Okay, now let's jump to the new moon, because again, it might have similar flavors here. Either axes could be highlighted this month, because technically a full moon shines a spotlight downstairs in your 3rd house. So 3rd house, you have a new moon here, a brand new fresh start, or the potential or possibility of a brand new fresh start, Leo, on or around the 21st of the month, 28 degrees. So again, what do you have 28 degrees of, Leo? Is it your sun, moon, rising? That's going to add in additional layers here. So 3rd house, again, busy, busy, busy house. The mind, communications, how we think, how we digest information, how we chew on information, how we speak, how we articulate ourselves is part of the 3rd house as well. Think technology, transportation. Leo, I can see some of you could be getting a new vehicle. Some of you could be getting a new tablet, a new phone, a new computer, some sort of new technology could be coming into your hands this month. The reason why I say this month is because, again, these luminaries, these lunations technically are activating both areas of life. So either or could be coming to fruition this month, Leo. By the way, if you do need to upgrade your transportation and get a new vehicle, or even some of you, even if it's a new pair of sneakers to get around, to walk around, a new bike, a new mode of transportation, this is definitely the month to try, because you might get a lot of traction sooner than you think. And also, if you're trying to sell a vehicle, definitely put it out there, because again, 3rd house is buying and selling. You have a new moon there, you have the sun there, and you have Venus coming into this area of life. So again, that's money in your pocket that you can spend, Leo, on whatever you want, even if it's selling your gadgets, right? Getting rid of old so you can bring in the new in that 3rd house. 3rd house is also social media, traveling around your local environment, your local community, your local vicinity, your local city, town, state, wherever you're living right now. Cousins, siblings, neighbors, relatives are also in this area of life as well. So actually, they might have a new beginning. Maybe you have new neighbors. Maybe you maybe a sibling has a new beginning in their life, whatever that means for them, right? Changes in their lives in some way, shape, or form. And again, Leo, what do you have at 28? Is it 28? Yeah, 28 degrees. If it's your sun, it could be career related. If it's your moon, it could be home related. Again, if your IC happens to land close to 28 degrees here of Libra, because the home line floats just like the midheaven floats. It's not exact at the top of the sky sometimes. Like mine, for example, is in the 11th house. My midheaven is in the 11th house from a Placidus standpoint, right? So if your home line happens to be right on this new moon, Leo, just think of it this way. Your dream is coming true, if not this month, but possibly within the next 6 months, of finding a new place to live. Again, for some of you, it's happening this month, and for some of you, it could happen within the next 6 to 9 months, I'm feeling. So again, I know I'm throwing out lots of examples, Leo, but hopefully at least one of those things resonates. So going back to the personal planets here, I want to go back to Venus. Venus in your 3rd house. Again, bringing in love locally. Put yourself out there, bringing in love off of technology, right? So put yourself on an app, there's so many platforms out there, right? You don't need me to go through them, but you know what I mean. If you are looking for love, Leo, you got to put yourself out there. I don't think it's going to be automatic. Or if you don't want to do that, get involved in local stuff, because you could find love locally. Could be a new neighbor. It could be somebody that just moved in from, I'm hearing from another country, but anyway, could be somebody that moved to your area locally and they're from out of town, for example. You could meet somebody in an educational setting as well. So depending on how old you are, I guess, but we're never too old to go back to school, but you could meet somebody mentoring, teaching, coaching, training, sort of in that type of environment as well. And also Venus here again brings in blessings and benefits. So like I said, if you need to upgrade your vehicle, you need to upgrade your technology, not a bad time when Venus is in here. Just don't break the bank, because she likes to indulge when she's in her home sign, my friends. So she might burn a hole in your pocket. Let's just put it that way. Okay, and then yes, we talked about all that energy in your 4th house, Mars cutting, ending, severing, Mercury amping up the communication or the busyness in the household. There could be a lot of action in the home, friends coming into the home. Also, Leo, speaking of friends, you might cut and sever a relationship with a friend, or maybe distance yourself from a friend, Leo. Yeah, I can feel kind of some tension or conflict here, and that's okay. You know, I'm looking at Mercury ruling your 11th house of friendship circles. Somebody's got to go. You got to distance yourself possibly from someone. This is not for everyone, by the way. I'm just noticing that now, and I'm also feeling that as well, because Mars, you know, gives us the opportunity to bring down the sword and sever that relationship that is just no longer working, right? So again, Leo, channel this energy wisely, channel it into productive pursuits. Again, anything to do, if you work from home, work with homes, man, you're going to be laser focused, my friends. You're going to have a good, productive month ahead. If you work with anything to do with homes, or you're looking to move into retirement, or you're helping people at home, your parents, you as a parent, this is just incredible energy that's going to also ground you this month as well, Leo. All right, my friends, that's all I wanted to talk about for the month ahead. So enjoy, and we'll see you back here in November. Bye for now. Hey, Virgo, welcome to October. Let's talk about where I think some of your focus could be for the month ahead. So let's start with the sun. The sun is energizing still your 2nd house, and will eventually this month move into your 3rd house on or around the 22nd of the month, depending on where you are on the planet. So this 2nd house, this is also where you have a brand new fresh start, a brand new beginning coming into this area of life, which I'll come back to. But What is the second house? So the sun is going to energize or illuminate something to do with money, something to do with material possessions, things that you personally own. This is also, what do you do for 9 to 5? What do you do for work? What does work mean to you? If you are working, by the way, and if you're not working, then this might be a financial lens for you, or a gathering of assets, or a reassessing of your assets, or your value system is the second house as well. It's kind of like, how do you earn a living? How do you pay the bills? How do you pay the mortgage? How do you pay the electricity? How do you pay the gas or the fuel in your car, whatever the case may be? Like how does money come to you, which usually comes in through that 8th house, but then what do you do with it in that second house? So that's some of the focus I think you're going to have this month, which is a continuation from September. By the way, Virgo, how was those eclipses last month for you? I'd love to hear if you're open to share, or even if you want to go to my website and drop me a line under the contact page there. I'd love to hear your stories, especially that final one there, 29 degrees of Virgo. And it was a very active, busy one in the sky. So, you are coming off those eclipses, my friend. So I would say give yourself grace, take it easy. Venus coming into Libra is also going to help pamper yourself this month and kind of like regain your strength, so to speak. And the sun and Mercury and Mars is going to be helping you with that as well. Anyway, going back to the sun moving into your busy 3rd house. So this is a focus on your local environment, your local vicinity, perhaps your local clientele. If you do have local clients, this is about running here, running there, whether it's the kids or mother or father or whoever, your partner. It's all about your local city, town, state that you live in. This is siblings, cousins, relatives, extended family members could also be coming into focus this month. They're showing me, yes, they're reminding me in Canada, we're celebrating Thanksgiving this month. So yeah, I'm seeing people gathering around the table, and I'm seeing the delicious meal and the food and the wine and the drink and the pumpkin, everything coming out of our ears. They're showing me all of that. Yeah, they're specifically showing me a pumpkin pie. So I don't know if that's a significance to you in some way, shape, or form. I feel like a loved one on the other side is presenting this to you or to me. They're showing me the pumpkin pie. So anyway, they will be with you, by the way. Definitely, this has got to be a parent or a grandparent coming in for sure. Anyway, because I can now smell it, taste it, touched it. Oh, anyway. It's wild. Yeah, it's like right here. Anyway, they're showing that to me. That's my point. Sorry about that, folks. They do chat to me in these readings. It's not all about astrology sometimes. But yeah, bringing people together this month as well, Virgo. That's going to be really, really, really important. Seeing people that you haven't seen in a long time, and perhaps inviting people from a distance or people that you haven't seen in a long time as well. 3rd house is also putting the focus on like transportation, how it is that you get around, technology as well, like gadgets, phones, cameras, microphones, computers, all the laptops, all that fun stuff, right? I'm thinking with Mercury in here, the sun, Mercury, and Mars, you could have a changeover of transportation. Also, if you got a heavy foot, like I do, be mindful of that this month, because Mars in the 3rd house can make us speed unintentionally. It can just make us a little bit like, oh, I got to get there. Oh, I'm late for an appointment, right? It can make us a little road ragey. So again, not for everyone, but just something to chew on here, something to excuse me, think about. Also, Virgo, if you work in the education field, or if you're a mentor, a teacher, a coach, it's going to be full on this month. You're going to be laser focused. You're going to be able to articulate yourself. If you watch the early part of my video, I kind of explain the energies of Scorpio and Libra, which is what we're kind of enveloped in this month. Like it's just taking over this month, right? And Scorpio energy, just like every other energy, has a shadow and a light side. So this can be, your words could be very sharp. Like, yes, you're very on point. You're very intelligent. You can articulate yourself, Virgo, very well this month. Mercury is your ruler, by the way. But our words can be used as weapons. Our words can hurt people intentionally or unintentionally. So again, I'm not here to lecture. I'm not here to Debbie Down everybody here. It's just a heads up. That's what I use astrology for, is, hey, heads up. This is coming down the pipe. So notice what you're noticing, right? If you feel the anger bubbling up, if you feel like you want to say something harsh, maybe take a step back. You know that rule about emails, right? Like, if you can, wait 24 hours or even 12 hours or even 8 hours. Like, take a step back from the keyboard. I think this is going to be a big month of keyboard heroes. That's what I'm seeing. That's what they're showing me as well. Because yes, we have Mercury and Mars together in Scorpio, which can be, again, used for good. But as we all know, there's some people that use it for not so good things, right? Like hurting other people, right? Or telling it how it is, which there's nothing wrong with that. So I think our words could come out sideways this month with all this packed energy in Scorpio. And especially for you, Virgo, it's in your third house of communication, of the mind, of how your thought process is processing. There we go. My goodness. How you chew on information, digest, and how you speak. You're going to really notice it this month. But again, if you're a writer, a journalist, you're looking for a publisher, anything like that, it's going to be on point. Like, utilize this energy, my friends, to the fullest degree, because this could work to your benefit for sure. Researching, publishing, also educational pursuits too, like just upgrading your own skill set. Definitely beneficial energy coming in this month for you. And actually, yeah, Mercury's going to be retrograde here as well. So if you are learning something new now and you put it down, or maybe you put something down, you're going to pick that back up either this month, November, or December, when Mercury is going back and forth here between your fourth house and third house. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself here. So that's the second house, third house. Let's move to that full moon. We have a full moon in Aries on or around the 6th of October at 14 degrees Virgo. Now this lunation you can't really see from an astrological perspective, is what I mean. It's in your 8th house, and it's also shining a spotlight down in your 2nd house, where you do have a new beginning, which I'll come back to in a second here. So a full moon in the 8th house, endings, culmination points, something coming to light, something coming out of the shadows into the conscious mind, so to speak. So this could be a psychological situation, a psychological matter. Again, things bubbling up, my friends, that is coming up for a reason. The ruler of this full moon is sitting in that third house of the lower mind, of communication, of transportation, of technology, of social media, of your relatives and siblings and cousins. So there could be a connection here with the 8th house and the 3rd house. So be mindful if anybody triggers you as well, especially those of you celebrating up in Canada like I am. You know, families get together, and it's blah, blah, blah. It's a blessing is what I'm trying to spit out. It's a blessing. But then see, it's almost like they're trying to stop me to say it's not all roses and sunshine, as we know, right? Sometimes family, we have deep ancestral wounds. So that could be coming up this month, okay? And again, I'm not here to give you a negative reading. It's just notice what you're noticing, right? It's that heads up type of energy. So back to the 8th house. Other matters that could come up is taxes, debts, loans, the mundane day-to-day kind of stuff. It's anything to do with shared assets with a partner. This could be in business. This could be in love, right? Or this could be with your clients. This is money coming in from other sources. Again, how does money flow to you? Like I mentioned earlier, right? Flow to you and flow through you as well. Also, how do you spend money, right? Again, I can see some of you getting a car loan this month. That's, you know, in the 3rd house could also be a mortgage or a second mortgage or a renovation loan or something to do with your home or your living situation. That could be possible as well, or a business loan as well. You could be thinking about, or you could be going after this month, or just moving money around this month, right? This is also property. So buying and selling of property is possible this month, especially with the 2nd house of material possessions and all this energy in your 3rd house as well. 8th house is also Inheritance, that could be coming up this month. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing a lot of you, or some of you might be moving money around. That I just keep seeing that. Eighth house is shadow work for those of you interested. Eighth house is about sexuality, intimacy, being intimate with another partner. And it's the house of fear, power, and control. So again, anything that bubbles up, my friends, there's a reason for that. Please try to work through that, work with a practitioner, do what you got to do to move that energy out of your body. There's a lot of nervous energy, a lot of energy coming into that third house, my friends. So I would say try to move it out. That would be the most healthy thing to do. If you hold it in, it might manifest as something else, and you don't want that, right? Okay, now let's go down to that new moon. We already talked about the second house, so just a reminder, second house is new beginning. So you have a new beginning here on the, I was about to say on the home front. Maybe for some of you, something to do with a new beginning on the home front. I feel like some of you are welcoming in like a new baby or something. Might not be yours, it might be a grandbaby or something, or somebody like a relative or something. But anyway, money, work, finances. Again, how does money flow to you? This is also your value system, by the way. It's material possessions. So again, buying and selling could be in the picture here. Good energy, by the way, this month to clear the clutter, get rid of stuff, sell. Could be on the menu for you. Also, if you are in sales, it could be a killer month, like really good month ahead for sales, my friends. So take advantage of this energy. So new beginning on the work front could be coming in. New beginning with your friendship circles, people that you surround yourself with. Let's see here. Okay, now I see the connection to home. Yes, Jupiter. The new moon does square Jupiter. So yes, there could be a new beginning on the home front. Transformational experiences on the work front, transforming your health, changing something to do with your diet, health routine once and for all at this new moon in Libra on or around the 21st. Let's see here. Some of you could be getting a new pet. That could be possible. And again, buying and selling could be on the menu, whatever that means to you. Skill set, again, is highlighted in that second house. So a skill set that's going to benefit you, that you can kind of take with you, right? Yeah, so just new beginnings with regards to finances, Virgo, but think endings and new beginnings, right? Because the full moon is technically endings, culmination points, right? And then the new moon is planting those seeds of intention, or like I'm thinking investing, right? Investing in yourself. Some of you are investing in yourself, and it's going to pay off later on, right? Venus in here is going to help that. Venus in the second house, she attracts in love and money wherever she goes, and she brings in not only the beauty element, but the balance and the harmony. Some of you could be getting work done on your face, right? So the second house is the face, and it's also what we ingest. So beauty treatments on the face, Virgo, this month. Keep in mind, I do not have your birth chart in front of me. But generally speaking, you know, Venus in the second house beautifying your face in some way, shape, or form. Not a bad idea. And if you work in the cosmetic industries or beauty industries, or what do we call them? Basically Venus ruled industries, I should say, you should again have a good month ahead. She should line your pockets, but Venus in here will also help you spend, right? So again, it's that double energy that every single sign brings in, right? If you're looking for love, again, it could be full on this month. New beginning with relationships. New beginnings, a new moon in Libra, and also Venus coming into Libra. That is definitely a signature for love coming in for each and every one of us. It could be finding love through a client, somebody you know, or finding love through work, right? Or even educational institutions as well. Also possibly finding love at a distance, right? I'm seeing local and at a distance for you, Virgo, so it could be either or. Otherwise, Virgo, that's all I was going to chat about for the month ahead. And enjoy the month of October, and we'll see you back here in November. Bye for now. Hey Libra, welcome to October, and let's chat about where I think your focus will be for the month ahead. But before I dive into that energy, I just want to wish you a very happy birthday if you are celebrating a birthday this month. And yes, what a birthday to have, Libra, because you have your ruler coming into your sign by the middle of the month. And you also have a new moon in your sign as well. So this is your new moon, Libra, regardless if you celebrated a birthday last month or this month. This is your new moon. We only usually get one once a year to bring in those birthday wishes and intentions for the next 6 months, but also for the next 12 months ahead. So let's get started here. So the sun is still in your first house, shining a spotlight on you, Libra. So it could be all about you, all about your partnerships, all about your relationships. It could be about your identity, your image. It could be about freshening up your look in some way, shape, or form. It could be about putting yourself out there, whether it's in love or in business, because what you're trying to do is attract in something, right? Libras are always about the other individual, right? And with Venus coming into your sign this month, she's going to make your magnetic energy that much bigger and that much greater, Libra. So don't be surprised if you do attract in a partner this month. I honestly, I'm going to put it out there, whether you're connected with somebody or not, whether you're looking for love or not, it could just find its way to you this month. Unless, Libra, you are literally a hermit and you hide under a rock, which is possible. Absolutely. Not everybody is looking for love. But I mean, every time when I come around to your sign, I always feel that energy of your purpose here, Libra, is to connect with another person. You are here to live and breathe what it's like to be connected to another person. And it doesn't always have to be in love. It could be through business. It could be through work. It could be through family. It could be through friends. It could be through your children. It could be through your fur babies. It's just it's your soul connection with another twin flame. And we can have multiple twin flames, by the way. It's not about one person. It's about multiple people. And I don't mean multiple lovers. For some, yes, that would resonate. But for others, it's about just, again, making those twin flame connections with multiple people all over the globe, technically. So that, I know I went off on a tangent there, Libra, but you are definitely could be in the spotlight in some way, shape, or form this month. Again, depending on you're working or not working. And if you're looking for love, again, I sound like a broken record. Push yourself outside of your comfort zone. Meet people locally. Meet people internationally. Put yourself out on a social media site. Get involved locally with your community. Volunteer. Do whatever it takes to start moving the chessboard pieces around the board. And I think you would be surprised how love could find its way to you if that's what you are interested in. Or again, it could be clients, right? It could be business associates, whatever the case may be, Libra. But yeah, lots of nice energy coming into your first house, which I absolutely love. Also, if you are in sales, again, you are very attractive, right? You're naturally going to be very, very, very attractive this month with all of this energy in your first house. And again, you have a brand new fresh start in your first house as well, which could really bleed into multiple areas of life. So I'll come back to this new moon. So once the sun moves into Scorpio on or around the 22nd of the month, give or take a day or two, depending on where you're on the planet, the focus is going to turn to, actually, some of you are probably already focused on this because Mars has been in here since late September, and then Mercury joins the party early in the month as well. So second house is all about finances, money, resources, material possessions, what you personally own. Second house is also buying and selling. Second house could be property. It's also your value system as well. And it's your bank account. It's your savings account. It's how you treat money. So when I say, money, 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 how does that make you feel? Do you tense up? Are you like, oh, don't talk about money? Or are you like, yeah, I'm in it for the money, or I'm being of service I'm providing this service for an income so I can provide for my family, or so that I can do this, or so that I can provide a comfortable lifestyle for myself, right? Or maybe it's just to get by day to day, right? Whatever your why is, Libra, is kind of what I'm getting at here. Lots of energy coming into this second house. Again, focus on financial situation. Some of you could be signing on the dotted line, I see, or maybe some of you already have. Again, this energy carries forward from last month into this month. Mars in the second house is really good for getting rid of things. So selling, I'm seeing buying and selling here, because Mars can help us get rid of things, but then Mars here can also burn a hole in our pocket. It makes us go after money. It makes us work very hard towards whatever we're putting our focus or intention on. Or again, if it's love, you could find love at work, by the way, or some sort of spark, whatever it is that you do on a day-to-day basis. But Mars puts our laser focus and attention on something in this area of life. And then Mercury brings in the mind, the communication piece as well. I feel like some of yours could be sexting this month. I picked that up with another sign as well. So I'm going to throw that in there this month for you, Libra, as well. Because again, all this spicy energy in Virgo definitely amps up the sexual sort of tension and the sexual energy. Like I explained at the beginning of the video, I explained the Scorpio energies and the Libra sort of energies there. Okay, so that's where the concentration of energy is for you this month, Libra. First house, second house situations or matters could be coming to the forefront. And let's move to that full moon, because the full moon always illuminates the opposite area of the chart. So it's about, for you this month, seventh house. And again, I'm going to repeat myself, first house matters. So again, it's the spotlight's on you, Libra. It could be, right? Again, I'd have to see your personal birth chart. Depends on what you're watching for. But you could be put in the spotlight in some way, shape, or form, or you could feel like it, right? You could be gaining a lot of traction or attention. Even for those of you out on social media, you could be getting that attraction. This is your followers. This is getting that attention. If you own a business, run a business, yes, put yourself out there. I think you could have a really busy, profitable month, and you'll be able to handle it, Libra. That's thanks to Mercury and Mars and the Sun coming into that second house. So full moon in the seventh house. This is endings, culmination points. Turning the page, so to speak, on a relationship. So whether this is in love or marriage or in business, or again, this could be your clients as well. This is signing on the dotted line. I'm hearing loud and clear some of you have already done this, which is fine. That could have manifested last month as well, with these eclipses hitting your sixth house and also your 12th house. So regardless, this month focus is about another person and your connection to that other person. I'm also hearing the why, like the why behind you're connected to this person. And it could be, again, a friend, right? It doesn't have to be all about love all the time, but it could also be about business relationships as well, I'm picking up. Okay, now the new moon that's happening on the 21st of the month. Like I mentioned, this is your birthday new moon, Libra, I would say. So plant those wishes and intentions for what you want to manifest for the next 6 to 12 months. So what do you have at 28 degrees of Libra if you do know your birth chart? If it's your sun sign, Libra, this could be new beginnings or fresh new starts on the career front, the work front, whatever you do for 9 to 5 if you're not working. I would challenge you to put yourself out there and volunteer. Do something for the greater good. Be of service to something or someone. It doesn't have to be with humans. It can also be with your furry friends as well, like I mentioned. But fresh new starts on the work front. Fresh new starts possibly with a father figure or a male figure, or if you are a boss, Libra, there could be fresh new beginnings there as well. If it's your moon sign on or around the 28th degree of Libra, this is new beginnings on the home front, new beginnings as a parent, new beginnings with a parent, mother, father, authority figures in your life. somebody new coming into the household, somebody new moving in, or people moving out, whatever, regardless, there could be new beginnings or fresh new starts in some way, shape, or form on the home front, if it's your moon sign. Now, if it's a rising sign, going back to your identity, your physical body, your physical image. Mars in the second house, maybe some of you are going under the knife, right? You're getting some plastic surgery done, you're freshening up the face, you're beautifying the face, or the body. Could be the body as well. With Venus in the first house, this new moon, again, if it's hitting your rising sign, it's going to be a fresh new you. It's a fresh new start, a fresh new image is being projected. Rising is the projections that we put on not only other people, but also out into the world. It's the glasses, the lenses that we wear. So it could be just as simple as a new way of looking at your life, right? It's like walking out the door and picturing yourself in the future you. That's a manifestation technique, by the way. Going for a walk, stepping outside of your door. Think about you're stepping into a brand new you, a brand new version of yourself, right? So it could just be a simple shift in your mindset. But again, wherever your mind goes, your focus goes, your intention goes, it's going to shift your whole perspective. It's going to change your vibration, Libra, and that's going to change what you attract towards you, right? So it's bigger than just about the mundane day to day. It could be, a spiritual shift, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at, right? A new way of looking at life. Obviously, I'm encouraging you to take this energy higher, but there's also the shadow side of this as well, right? But I don't want to Debbie down. I don't want to focus on that. I always take this energy higher because honestly, why not, right? What's the point of dwelling, and what's the point of bringing in the negative? I don't really see the point of that. But anyway, I think we have enough of that on the planet. Okay, Libra, what else? We talked about Venus coming into your sign, which is extremely beneficial for all areas of life. The new moon, I forgot to mention this. New moon is squaring Jupiter and Pluto and opposing Chiron. So this new moon, speaking of the shadow, speaking of a wound, that could be irritated this month around this new moon. Okay, so just giving you a heads up about that. Chiron is in your 7th house. So guess what? Surprise, surprise. This could be an irritant coming in through another person. Okay. I'm not saying some grandiose, horrible thing is going to happen. It could be, again, just something that someone says to you, right? It brings up an old wound, an old relationship wound, right? Whether it's with family, friends, or loved ones, or marriage, or work, or with clients, right? Maybe you get triggered by a client. Maybe you get triggered by you're sitting around the dinner table and somebody says something to you. We are celebrating Thanksgiving in Canada this month. So that's also what they're showing me for a few signs, people around the table. You know what it's like, relatives coming in, and it's kind of like, oh God, Aunt Betty is going to bring up this embarrassing thing from so many years ago, and I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to. So just things like that, Libra. Okay. So just be prepared for things like that. Also, don't bite off more than you can chew. From a work perspective, Jupiter at the top of your sky is trying to help you expand. But this is, and which is a blessing, by the way. Jupiter is blessing your 10th house for another 9 months or so. But again, Jupiter doesn't know any better, right? We're physical, dense human bodies. So just don't take on too much. That would just be my only recommendation. Whether this is in work or family. You don't have to say yes to everything. You don't have to say yes to picking up everything or picking up everybody or doing everything, Libra, which I find Libras are always pulled in to do. Like you feel like you have to. Anyway, I'm not here to preach at you. I'm just here to give you sort of like that heads up type of energy. The square to Pluto actually could bring in a romantic partner that's actually quite intense. There's definitely a larger lesson here. If you meet somebody this month, lean into that. I'd be kind of curious how that manifests with Pluto in your 5th house of romance and dating and creativity and self-expression. So if it's not a love angle, it could be, notice the downloads, the possibilities of downloads and creative projects. Like something is trying to be birthed out of you, Libra. Something is definitely trying to manifest. from you, like within you. The idea is within you. You just got to pull it out of you in some way, shape, or form, Libra. So, and it's a game changer. It's a life, Pluto's a life changer. All the big planets are. They change our lives forever. Like there's no looking back. You know, Mars, Mercury, and Venus don't do that. It's the heavy hitters in the sky, like Pluto and Saturn and Neptune and Uranus and Jupiter. They do that for us, right? So pay attention this month what comes in, because whatever this is, it could be a game changer around this new moon. It might make you feel uncomfortable. It might push you outside of your comfort zone. Again, think work, love, business, or home life, right? It could really be any one of those things, Libra. But anyway, enjoy the month ahead, my friends, and we'll see you back here in November. Bye for now. Hey, Scorpio, welcome to October. So let's talk about where I think some of the focus is going to be for the month ahead. And before I get rolling here, I want to wish you a happy birthday, Scorpio, if you are celebrating this month. So I want to wish you not only a wonderful day, but a fantastic year ahead. All right, Scorpio. So the sun is highlighting your 12th house this month, or continues, I should say, to highlight your 12th house this month. Venus is coming into your 12th house this month, and you also have a brand new beginning in this 12th area of life. So 12th house is a little bit hidden. It's kind of like with the sun moving in here, it's sort of like shining a spotlight in the attic. You know, you see all the cobwebs, you see all the dust, you see, you know, maybe some spiders and some buggies and I don't know, weird things crawling around. So, you know, Scorpio, you are the epitome of like purging, right? Whenever I come around to Scorpio, you're ruled by, you know, Mars and Pluto. So it's about purge, transform what you got and create the life you desire. It's about burning yourself down to the ground. Over and over and over again, by the way, if you are a Scorpio sun, moon, or rising watching this, not so much a moon, I guess it could be the emotional body regenerating itself over and over and over. But if you're a sun and rising, this is about burning yourself to the ground over and over and over again and starting fresh. And that is part of your purpose in this lifetime, is to lean into that and feel that and embrace that and just know that that is part of your why, like part of why you are here. So 12th house energy, you don't represent the 12th house, but I have a feeling you're familiar with the 12th house. So it's about preparing, like Scorpio, you're preparing for a brand new cycle, basically, right? You're preparing for when that sun touches your rising sign on or around the 22nd, it's like a brand new cycle is starting. And on top of it, you have your ruler in your first house at the same time, and you have Mercury here as well. So what a fresh start, my friends. If you are starting something brand new this month, good for you. I feel like you are starting off on the right foot and you are on the right path. And yes, you made the right decision. And now it's time to lean into it, embrace it, and just don't look back, my friends. Don't look back. Like I'm feeling like, I almost feel like I'm giving you a 2026 reading. That's what they're showing me. It's like a fresh new start. And Mars only comes around every 2 years in your sign, Scorpio. So yeah, you're going to be laser focused on point this month. So I love it. This is about letting go of things that are no longer working if you haven't already done so. This is about, so I'm still talking about the 12th house here, because with Venus in here and the sun still in here, Venus is going to be here for a while, for the entire month. So she's going to help you clean out the closets, get rid of things, clean up, you know, move the energy around, move the feng shui, clear and cleanse your house, so to speak. Wash the windows. They're showing me something to do with literally washing the windows. I don't know what that means, but you know, it's like cleaning up, cleaning house, cleaning wherever your place of living is, so you can welcome in that brand new energy that is coming in very, very soon here for you. Also with Venus in here, I want to say this before I forget. Venus in the 12th house, first of all, you could be dating somebody in secret. This is love coming in behind closed doors, or maybe you're having a sexual relationship with somebody behind closed doors. Now, I'm not here to judge, Scorpio. I don't care if you're attached or not attached. Whenever I see Venus or Mars moving through the 12th house, you would have had Mars moving through this area of life back in like August, September, I believe. This is like a sexual relationship starting behind closed doors, like in secret. Not for all of you, obviously, okay? Like I said, I hope I'm not pissing some of you off, but this is kind of what I normally see in clients' birth charts when I see this type of transit coming around. But again, I don't have your personal birth chart in front of me, my friends. This is also monetizing something to life. Like the 12th house is your hidden skills, talents, and abilities. With Venus here, you could monetize that. You could bring something to life, bring something to fruition, my friends. Not a bad idea if that's something you are pondering. Also, 12th house is very spiritual. Anything to do with spirituality, mysticism, you know, the tarot, the taboo topics, which is your jam, my friends. You love that stuff, or at least science, right? I'm hearing science fiction, aliens, like you name it. Okay, Scorpios don't shy away from anything, as far as I know. Okay, so that's the 12th house. I'm going to come back here, by the way. So I want to get back on topic here with talking about the sun. So once the sun joins the party in your first house, and Mercury is eventually going to come into here as well. And again, you've had Mars here for since September 22nd, approximately. So again, this is all about you. This is fresh new starts, fresh new beginnings. If you are in the industry of buying or selling or sales, you're going to be spot on this month, Scorpio. I would say put yourself out there. I'm seeing you handing out business cards. You know, networking could also be prominent this month as well, or gains. Mercury does rule your house of gains and earnings, or I should say earnings from the career sector specifically. That could be spot on this month. One thing though, if you haven't already noticed with Mars and Mercury in your sign, I kind of explained this at the beginning of the video, they can really fire you up, especially you in particular, my friends, because you are embodying this energy personally, whether it's your sun, moon, or rising. So be mindful of how you articulate yourself to other people, because your words can be used as weapons. I'm just going to throw it out there. I'm not accusing you. I'm just saying notice what you're noticing, right? If you're feeling frustrated, if you're feeling angry about something or someone, try to channel it in a healthy way, or try to get to the bottom of the issue. Mars and Mercury in your sign is more strategic versus a loose cannon. Okay, so that's what I do like about this energy, but it can still be like, you can still sting people with this energy. And this is all of us, by the way, because we all have this energy coming into Scorpio, but this hits home to you because you are, well, if you're watching Scorpio, you got to have something in Scorpio is what I'm getting at here. So you see what I mean? Your sign is very black and white. You're a fixed sign. You're very black and white. You're all or nothing. You either like someone or you don't. It's kind of like that type of energy. And if you don't like someone and you're forced to work with someone, you're like, it's almost like you can see it on a Scorpio's face. You know, but again, this is where strategy comes in. Some people utilize this as again, strategy, being very strategic, being very professional. But my point is, you're going to be laser focused and point on this month, whatever you do, whatever you choose to do, because again, it's your first house. Some of you could actually be going under the knife, possibly like surgeries, I'm thinking, because Mars is the needle, the knife, the surgeries, or being connected with a surgeon. That could be a possibility as well. So that's some of the energy for the month ahead. And as I always say, anything in your first house could really bleed out to multiple areas of life here. So it could, be about home, family, foundation, your kids, if you have any, your relationships, whether you're married or not married, again, dating in secret, there's potential this month, or maybe you started something when Mars was in here, and then that is carrying into and possibly blossoming into a relationship at some point. Somewhat, like sexting is coming to mind, just talking, getting to know somebody basically behind closed doors without telling anybody. And the career, by the way. Yes. And, first house, this could definitely bleed into the career sector as well. Now I want to jump to the new moon and the full moon. So we have a full moon this month in your busy, busy, busy sixth house. Now keep in mind, full moons illuminate both sides of the axis here. So we talked about the 12th house. So keep in mind, something could be coming to a culmination point in that 12th house, or think of coming to light. So for example, I'm going to use the relationship example. So maybe you bring a relationship to light and say, yes, out in the open, I am dating this person or seeing this person. That could be a possibility because we have a new moon here. Or it could be something else, psychologically, a breakthrough psychologically in some way, shape, or form. Or again, you're preparing for that brand new cycle, right? For when this energy piles into your first house, which is, again, being your birthday year ahead, excellent energy coming in for fresh new beginnings in, I'm going to say, any area of life. Scorpio, any area of life. But anyway, back to the full moon. Full moon in the sixth house, endings, culmination points, or next chapters, there we go, with work, with your day-to-day duty and responsibility, your health and well-being, your fitness, your diet, how you're taking care of your vessel, your pets and your animals, your habits, your routines, the workplace, your coworkers, if you're a boss or you work for an employer. Sixth house is people that roll up under you, so you are the boss. So there could be some changes in the work environment, regardless if you're a manager or a individual contributor. There could be some changes here in the workplace. Duties and obligations could be changing too. Hopefully for the better, Scorpio. Change them up for the better is what I'm hoping. The energy this month is also taking on more. So biting off more than you can chew. So do your best to, I would say, stay away from that unless, again, maybe you're open and willing, right? So again, it depends on the stage of life that you're at. Some of you, I'm hearing retirement loud and clear, either moving into retirement, thoughts of retirement, planning for retirement. That's definitely loud and clear. Some of you want to move away for retirement too. I can see that and feel that as well. So as you can see, lots of energy coming in around this full moon. And its ruler, like you and Aries have something in common. You're both ruled by Mars. Its ruler is in your first house. So again, I'm thinking the full moon especially is somehow tied directly to you, Scorpio. Like whatever this is on or around the 6th of October, it's going to directly impact you, or you're going to be directly involved in some way, shape, or form because your ruler is in your first house. So something's got to shift here for sure. I'm thinking it's more your day-to-day duty and responsibility, like whatever you do on a day-to-day basis. Contracts could be coming to an end, either contractors that you hired or, again, something to do with the workplace vicinity or clients or something along those lines. I'm also hearing something about buildings, like buildings. Sixth house is also rental units. So I don't know, maybe some of you own buildings or something. There's something coming in about that as well. Building maintenance, or no, not building maintenance, like building owner, like management. Building managers or something like that is coming in. But anyway, new moon in your 12th house. I don't want to drive you nuts by repeating myself, but we talked about the 12th house. So a fresh new beginning could be psychologically, could be the mindset. It could be, again, about love, about a new relationship, whether in business or in love. It could be something to do with spirituality, a shift. I'm feeling like a shift in your energy or your soul, or something to do with your purpose, they're saying as well. And this is more so at the end of the month here. So around the 21st of the month is when this new moon energy comes in. But again, Scorpio, just try not to take on too much work, duty, responsibility. Same with at home. Try not to take on too much on the home front too, because this new moon squares Pluto and Jupiter. And it's not a bad thing, it's not a bad thing, especially coming in from Jupiter. but I just feel like someone could try to put more weight and responsibility on you, and it'll be up to you if you want to accept that or not, right? And be mindful of burning the candle at both ends. But again, I'm not here to harp and be an old lady and tell you what to do. It's just being mindful of that energy, right? Because it is coming in this month from Pluto, who's your, more modern ruler, and then Jupiter upstairs in your ninth house of like long distance traveling and anything to do with foreign land, foreign shores, foreign cultures. Anybody who's different and unique to you, or what you would consider different and unique to you. Yeah, so just be mindful of that, Scorpio. I don't want to focus on that, but just be mindful of just taking on too much, and don't be afraid of saying no, and finding that balance and harmony this month. Otherwise, Scorpio, enjoy the month of October, and we'll see you back here in November. Bye for now. Hey, Sagittarius, welcome to October, and let's talk about where I think your focus will be for the month ahead. So let's start with your 11th house. That's where the sun is still transiting, I guess, depending on when you're watching this video, but you have the sun there. You have a brand new beginning there happening this month, which I'll come back to, and you have Venus coming into your 11th house as well. So this is a focus on possibly older siblings. I think some of you may have some of you that have older siblings, they could be having a fresh new start or a new beginning this month as well. Otherwise, this is your friendship circles, your groups, your affiliations, your associations, whoever you associate with, whoever you rub shoulders with, Sag. Also, some of you, your friends are having brand new beginnings too, right? Anything to do with this house, I'm just loud and clear hearing somebody is having a brand new start, a fresh new beginning is coming in for not only you in this area of life, but for them. I'm hearing them as well. So anyway, this is your community. This is, personal and professional affiliations, networking. I'm seeing some of you passing out your business cards this month. So I do like that energy coming in. This is also your role, Sagittarius, within these groups and affiliations and associations. Perhaps that might have changed recently, especially with Mars passing through this area of life. Hopefully, you're not doing everything, because I still get a bit of a feeling, Sag, that you're burning the candle at both ends. You're almost like doing too much, right? You are ruled by Jupiter after all. So, I mean, I who am I to tell you what to do? But I'm gonna get to that with this new moon. But there's an opportunity this month to again take on too much, my friends. So if you are doing right now a lot, if you're thinking to yourself, man, I am stretched so thin and I'm not getting any sleep and I'm like eating potato chips all the time and I'm living off fast food, you might want to reconsider that, especially this month, because I can see an opportunity coming in this month where you're going to have to take on more. But you don't have to, though, because all you have to do is say no, right? So I'll come back to that. So anyway, focus on friends, groups, affiliations, associations, networking, social media, the internet, your hopes, your wishes, your dreams. The 11th house should lift you up and light you up, my friends, not bring you down, not bog you down with more work, okay? So if you haven't yet ended something with someone in this area of life that's bogging you down, that might come back around this month, around the new moon, so around the 21st of October. But it could happen anytime this month with this new moon energy, squaring your ruler in your 8th house and squaring Pluto in your 3rd house of local community vicinity. Again, a house of siblings, a house of relatives, a house of somebody in your local environment, friendship circles, right? Okay. Now, once the sun moves into your 12th house, you got a loaded 12th house here, Sag. So I'm curious, how are you sleeping? Mars rolling around in the 12th house. This comes around every 2 years. We get this energy. Mars takes 2 years to go around the wheel. It can be tough to get into a proper sleep habit or routine. So Sag, this sounds mundane and goofy, but this energy is asking you to get into a proper sleep habit, to possibly something connected to your diet too, because again, I'm feeling there's a lot of you out there burning the candle at both ends there, my friends. So the sun in your 12th house is going to help shine a spotlight on that in a healthy way, and hopefully you can get into a proper routine or a bedtime routine, I'm thinking. Now, if that doesn't resonate, the 12th house is our hidden gifts, talents, and abilities. So something is, maybe waking you up at 3:15 in the morning, right? And you're having to jot things down or write things down, or open up the laptop or something and jot down something, type out something. You could, I feel like some of you are getting downloads, right? Getting downloads. But again, it's interrupting your sleep, right? Depending on what you do 9 to 5. Again, just make sure you're taking care of yourself, because the 12th house is also healing and rest and taking care of you mentally, emotionally, psychologically, and also spiritually, because the 12th house is flavored with spirituality as well. And letting go. As I mentioned, let go of things that are bogging you down, Sag, once and for all. Wrap it up. 12th house is all about wrapping things up. So the sun and Mercury and Mars are like, okay, let's wrap things up before all this energy piles into your sign. And you're not going to be quite done yet, because they're reminding me Mercury is going retrograde. Not this month, but I think it's next month, because he's going into shadow, and he'll be going back and forth between your 1st house and your 12th house, my friends. So you're on a journey, I can tell, of wrapping something up. Your career, something to do with career, public status, public image, something to do with parenting, you as a parent, or something to do with one of your parents or children, or a relationship. Yeah, going back and forth, I can see possibly even with a relationship. Like, do I stay? Do I go? Oh, by the way, Mars in here. Yeah, you could be dating somebody in secret, seeing somebody in secret, having a sexual relationship behind closed doors. And that's going to continue, by the way, next month with Mars coming into the 12th house. So hopefully I remember to say the same thing. But whenever I see Venus and Mars in the 12th house, Venus is not in the 12th house. She's technically still in your 10th house, but she's moving into your 11th house. I'll come back to Venus. But, there's some sort of sexual tension here possibly in the 12th house as well. And that's okay. I'm not here to judge, by the way. I'm just saying, I'm seeing the energy. This is very common. I've seen this with clients' charts as well. So I'm not here to judge. Love or a sexual partner could find its way to you, whether you are looking or not looking. Especially with Mars and Mercury, that's like sexting. That's like, sending the dirty pictures. That's like, where do we meet up? That's like having sex in a vehicle, things like that. Things like that, Sag. So anyway, as you can see, as you can tell, concentrated energy here in your 11th house and 12th house. Now let's jump to that full moon in Aries in your 5th house. This is happening on or around the 6th of October. And if you have anything around 14 degrees, this is going to add another layer. So if it's your moon, it could be changes on the home front or changes with a mother figure in your life. If it's your sun sign, it could be changes on the career front, changes in the workspace, the workplace, or just changes in general to the work that you're doing 9 to 5, day to day. Rising sign, this is about you, personally or professionally, or something to do with your relationships. Again, personally, professionally, love, marriage, whatever the case may be. So in general, though, a full moon in your 5th house, which, by the way, shines a spotlight up to your 11th house that we talked about. So it could manifest as a 5th house situation or an 11th house situation that we talked about. So 5th house is children, grandchildren, love affairs, romance, dating, sex, creativity, self-expression, drama, flair. This is the Hollywood sign, like 5th house is Hollywood, Bollywood. Fertility, even though I got to see more with fertility, because I mean, this full moon is kind of like hanging out on its own. I'd have to widen the orb to see other aspects here, but anyway, fertility could be on the mind, or something to do with fertility could come up with you, or again, somebody that you know. And hobbies, again, as I mentioned, monetizing something, that 12th house energy, taking that 12th house energy, birthing something new, pulling something out of you and getting it out there, right? Monetizing it. The 5th house is all about, what did you ask? Or sorry, when you're a kid, they ask you in school, what do you want to be when you grow up, right? That's the 5th house. That's that spark of life. That's where we fall in love. That's what we fall in love with, what we do. So it could be in love, like I said, love, romance, dating, self-expression, hobbies, or again, work. How do we want to be of service? Now, the new moon, as I mentioned, we did talk about the 11th house here. This is a brand new start, a fresh new beginning. And again, keep in mind that full moon might have a flavor of the 11th house as well, because it's shining a spotlight upstairs to this area of life as well. So again, older siblings, I'm feeling siblings in general, but older siblings, friends, groups, community, memberships, networks, networking, your role within these groups, your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, your gains from the career sector, social media, the internet. It's the house, again, that lights you up, lifts you up, or it should. Anyway, it should. And again, if it's not, well, you know what to do, Sag, hopefully. So fresh new starts here. But as I mentioned, it's squaring Pluto, squaring Jupiter. Don't take on too much, Sag. But again, I'm not here to preach and tell you what to do. You do you. There's going to be reassessments with this Mercury retrograde, because it's going to hit you personally. So I have a feeling the decisions that you make this month might come back around next month and in December for reassessment, readjustment, because this Mercury retrograde is asking you on multiple levels, multiple areas of life, because it's hitting your first house. And I'm hearing, what is the why? What is the why behind what you're doing, Sag? So that could be anything, right? Relationships, infidelity, I'm hearing, new partnerships, new people coming in, new people, places, things, reassessing your job, reassessing your career, reassessing, again, what is your why, right? That's all I'm hearing. And that's all they're showing me is the big fat why and a big fat question mark. Like, that's all they're showing me. So anyway, and that's going to unfold for 3 months. I'm going to say that it's definitely, this isn't a month where you're going to wrap everything up. I think this is definitely going to take some time, is what they're showing me. Okay, back to the personal planets. I want to come back to Venus, because Venus in the 11th house is incredible for gains. This is gains coming in from the career. I feel like some of you have been working on something for a long time. They're showing me like 6 to 9 months, if not beyond. You're finally getting your payday, is what they're saying. Like, you're finally getting like your payday, or it's like a culmination point. Again, the full moon is shining a spotlight up here too, but I feel like something is being monetized, like something is coming towards you in a good, beneficial way. This also could be finding love in group affiliations, friendship circles, new friends, old friends, just period, finding love with networking, affiliation, a friend hooking you up, a friend becoming more than a friend, that type of energy. Sag is coming in with Venus moving through Libra. I love that. Love that for you. And again, you have a new beginning here, which could be a new love relationship coming in. That's only if you're open to it though, Sag. I can appreciate there's some folks out there that are in a solid, stable, secure relationship. Think of it as gains then. Think of it as benefits coming in through a friendship circle, through a networking event. Clients coming towards you, money coming towards you, money flowing towards you. This is your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, something you're getting, gaining some traction this month is sort of what I'm feeling for you as well. Okay, let's see. I think we spent enough time talking about like Mars and Mercury. Also, Sag, don't be hard on yourself this month. Mercury and Mars can make our speech very blunt, direct to the point. You are that way anyway, especially if you do have Mercury in either Sagittarius or Scorpio or even Capricorn. There's probably a lot of folks out there that probably have Mercury somewhere around those signs. So you already are direct, blunt, to the point. Just be mindful of your words this month, but in the 12th house, give yourself grace. Like, don't attack yourself in the mirror and be like, oh my God, I look like a pile of crap today. Like, look at me, look at this, look at that. Like, don't pick yourself apart, my friends. Everybody else's energy, I've been saying, you know, be careful how you use your words. Don't, you know, because words can be used as weapons with Mercury and Mars, especially together, or so close. You know, but it is what it is, right? This is the trolls coming out online. This is like people coming out of the gunk and rolling out of the gutter and not do, you know, they have nothing better to do than to slander everybody online or like talk shit about everybody or just be nasty, right? I'm not saying you're going to do it, Sag. I'm like collectively, I explained this at the beginning of the video. Like, this is collectively, you guys. I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer. This is pretty cookie cutter transit here for that kind of crap to happen, right? It's just a heads up. But for you in the 12th house, it's like holding up a mirror and you're saying it to yourself, right? So just be mindful of that, my friends. If you notice that you're doing that to yourself, I would just say nip it in the bud. Nip it in the bud, because you don't deserve that, Sag. Nobody does, but you know, you out of all people, you don't deserve that. You're doing the best you can with what you have in front of you. Okay, so yeah, just give yourself some space and some grace for the month ahead, my friends. But otherwise, that's all I was going to mention for the month of October. I hope you have a wonderful month ahead, and we'll see you back here in November. Bye for now. Hey Capricorn, welcome to October. Let's talk about where I think your focus will be for the month ahead, or some of your focus for the month ahead. So the sun continues to move along your top of your sky. So your 10th house is being highlighted this month. You know, same with last month as well, you know, a continuation from last month into this month. So Capricorn, guess what? Yep, surprise, surprise. You're focused on work. What a huge surprise, right, Capricorn? Anyway, even if you're retired, I mean, I feel like you're going to be focused on something monetary, right? How can I monetize this? How can I benefit from this? How can I shuffle my money around? Like there's something here that you're focused on, right? When it comes to either work or money or finances or resources or trying to get ahead or planning for the future or setting those goals and intentions, manifestation, you know, you name it, right? Or if that doesn't resonate, this could be about your home family living situation. I'm feeling, you know, your status, your reputation, the legacy you want to leave behind. I guess, yes, this taps into your goals and your commitments that you're making at this time. And I'm also hearing and feeling you're planning for something in the winter. I mean, that is your birthday after all, I guess. But I feel like maybe some of you are planning a big birthday celebration or doing something big. Yeah, some of you are hitting a milestone. I feel like those of you like 50, 51, 52, I'm feeling some of you like you're planning for something big, right? You're planning for something big in the months ahead, which is, yeah, which is amazing. Absolutely. The sun is setting anyway, my friends. You know, you are sort of wrapping up a cycle and a season, and you know, once the sun touches your rising sign or your sun sign, it's a brand new cycle that's starting for you. But anyway, let me backtrack here. Sun in the 10th house could also put the focus on you as a leader, you as a manager. If you are in one of those positions, your company, your corporation, your parents, mother, father, authority figures could be in focus this month as well. Okay, and I'm going to come back to the 10th house because you have Venus coming in here and you got a new moon, a fresh new start happening here as well, Capricorn. Now, once the sun joins the party in your 11th house, you've had Mars here since September 22nd. Venus joins the party, sorry, not Venus, Mercury joins the party this month in your 11th house. So this puts a focus on your friendship circles. personal or professional networking, people you rub shoulders with, Capricorn. I could see you passing out business cards, going to events, social events, professional events, selling your services, being in service, I'm hearing as well. Mars and Mercury together are an amazing combination for sales. So if you are in sales, Capricorn, oh my goodness, I think you are going to have a good month ahead, but possibly this is even going to carry you into November as well, with Mercury going back and forth between your 12th house and your 11th house as well. 11th house is also the gains from the career sector. And again, the 11th house carries the torch of long-term commitments and goals. This is about people that you surround yourself with by choice, that lift you up and light you up. And if they don't, Capricorn, Mars in here will help you cut and sever those relationships. So I'm not saying, again, everybody takes this energy differently. Some people cut and sever and it's like, see you later. Or some people just need to distance themselves from another person, right? Because it just means that you're not a vibrational match anymore from a friendship perspective or a networking perspective, or maybe you've shifted into a different career. So now your group of people that you hang out with or associate with has changed, right? That's okay. I can definitely see that energy coming in this month for you as well. Older siblings as well. There could be changes in their lives this month, or there's some sort of focus with them on this month. I would caution, don't get into debates with them. I can see both of you having a sharp tongue with each other, okay? Especially older siblings, right? So rein it in if you can, because it's not going to be worth it, Capricorn. I feel like somebody's going to be backtracking on their words. It might be you, my friends. Might be them, but it also might be you, okay? So is it worth it? Same with, a friend or something. Is it worth getting into like a heated debate with them over, I don't know, something petty, right? So keep that in mind. As I mentioned at the earlier part of the video, Mars and Mercury coming together in Scorpio could be our words being used as weapons, being used to hurt people, and it might not be intentional, right? We might not even realize it. It's just that something's boiling up, the emotions are boiling over, and then boop, we say something, and then we're trying to backpedal. I'm not picking on you, Capricorn. A lot of us are going to be doing this over the Mercury retrograde season. I have a feeling, because Mercury goes into shadow this month. So again, this is going to manifest differently for everyone, but just be mindful of that, Capricorn, okay? Channel this energy, like I said, into your work, into your day-to-day, into sales. If you're renovating your home, or if you work with homes or work from home, channel it into those sorts of activities. And I would just say use the rule of the 24-hour rule, or try to wait 12 hours before sending off that email or whatever the case may be, right? So it's about reining yourself in so you don't lose your head, so you don't lose your cool, Capricorn. But great energy to clean up the closets and get rid of things, including people, places, things that don't lift you up and light you up and support you, right? Even family members, maybe it's time to kind of distance yourself from them, right? I'm not saying cut them off completely, but maybe distance yourself, whatever that means to you. Just have that less contact with them or communication with them. So that's where a lot of the focus is this month, Capricorn. And I'm going to come back to your 10th house here in a second. So let's jump to that full moon in Aries, 14 degrees, October the 6th. Now, Capricorn, do you have anything around 14 degrees? This full moon will be illuminating your planet placement point, whatever you're watching for, especially if it's around 14 degrees. Regardless, all Capricorns are going to feel this. It's dab smack in the middle of Aries. So that means it's squaring your energy. So it just means it's going to make you move. It's going to make you take action on something. Maybe some of you, quite literally, you're due for a move, or you're overdue for a move, or you have an opportunity to move. This could be business or home, I'm feeling. Changes on the home environment as well, because this is ending's culmination point in that 4th house. So family, home, people that you live with, roots, ancestry. It's also, fourth house is also self-care, like how you're taking care of yourself behind closed doors, so to speak. Fourth house is about the past. Also, by the way, with Mars up in your 11th house, this is, Mars rules this full moon is what I'm getting at. So cut and sever the past that no longer suits, or you don't need it in your life anymore. You don't need those memories bubbling up from the past. You don't need them. You don't need them anymore, Capricorn. So, it's about flushing that out and getting rid of those thoughts and those guilt trips from family members once and for all, and leaving that behind, leaving that in the dust. Fourth house is also retirement, or thoughts of moving into retirement. Mother, father, authority figures, again, bosses, or you as a parent. There's something ending or changing, or there's like a chapter being closed out and something new is coming in here. Now, with that said, though, full moons always illuminate both sides of the axes, though. So your 10th house, there could be endings and new beginnings on the career front too. So do keep that in mind. If home, family, foundation doesn't resonate with you, it could be changes on the work front, or changes in the work environment, or again, changes to a boss or an authority figure, right? Or maybe it's you. Like, regardless of what this is, it's impacting you, Capricorn, because it's making a square to your planet's placements or points in your personal birth chart. Now, I'll jump back upstairs to your 10th house. I know I'm going to repeat myself here. So a brand new beginning, possibly starting in your status sector, your career sector, on or around October the 21st. This is 28 degrees. So again, Capricorn, this is squaring your energy, squaring whatever you're watching for, especially if you have anything around 28 degrees. So this is a new beginning, but it looks like there's going to be adjustments around this new beginning, or perhaps this new beginning, you're going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to make you feel uncomfortable in some way, shape, or form, right? Whether you're sun, moon, or rising, it's going to kind of hit you from an emotional perspective, possibly. Or again, your career. This is up in your career sector after all. So new beginnings with jobs, with bosses, with changes in the workplace, changes to your status too, Capricorn. Like, this is status. So what I mean by that is going from single to in a relationship, or going from a relationship back to single, right? Or being married to unmarried. Now, I'm not saying all of you are going to get divorced, okay? That, like, this has to resonate with you in order for it to manifest, right? And this is obviously going to manifest differently for everyone, but this is at the top of your sky. So that is tough to ignore. I feel like it's almost like whatever happens could be quite public, right? Could be, not for all of you, but it could be a big public status change, right? And again, I think you've heard me say this before. A status change could also mean that you're known as a prominent professional figure in your community, and all of a sudden you pack that up and you're like, I'm done with the corporate world, and I'm now moving into my side hustle, where I'm doing astrology, I'm doing tarot, I'm baking pies all day, I'm opening up a child center, I'm dog walking. Like, it could be just something totally different. That's a status change as well, Capricorn. It's like what you are known for is, or could be, changing this month, right? And again, you might initiate this, or your employer might initiate this. And also, did I mention this could also be moving into retirement? Quite frankly, this could be the final straw, and you're like, see you later, I am moving into retirement. That could be a possibility as well. New beginnings for father figures and mother figures in your life as well. New beginnings as you as a parent too. That could be it as well. Maybe you're packing up the job, creating more work-life balance, which could also be coming into focus, I can see this month, Capricorn, and spending more time at home with your kids or your grandkids, right? That, or your partner, your spouse. That could be a possibility as well. I just caution you around this new moon, though, don't bite off more than you can chew, my friends, because it is squaring Pluto, newly in your second house of work, of money, of finances and resources and material possessions. And it's also squaring Jupiter in your 7th house of relationships. So again, I'm not going to harp on you. You do you, Capricorn. You're one of the signs that, you know, you could work yourself into a grave, and you're fine with that, you know. But just be mindful about doing too much, because that might catch up with you. Especially, I'm looking at Mars and Mercury coming into your 12th house at some point. That could be burnout. That could be exhaustion, right? And you don't want to get to that, my friends. You do not want to get to that. So, again, you do you, Capricorn. I'm not trying to be negative about this new moon at the end of the month, because it is a beautiful new moon at the top of your sky, but it is asking you possibly to say no to something or someone, or delegating. If you have to do something, Capricorn, I would recommend delegate it or hire someone to do it. Can you do it though? Can you do it all? Yes. But let's see how you feel once Mars and Mercury move into your 12th house and Mercury goes back and forth from your 11th to 12th. That's where I think it's going to paint a picture where you might need to backtrack on something that you promised to do this month. So take it slow and go slow, my friends, which I know is hard to hear if you're a Capricorn. I am one too. Okay, I'm talking to myself as well. I'm a Cap rising and a Cap moon. So, you know, this is hitting me personally too. So I'm trying to say it out loud so it sinks into my brain. Let's see, Capricorn. Last but not least, Venus moving through the top of your sky. Excellent for career opportunity. Excellent for finding love. Again, status change, going from single to in a relationship if you're looking, Capricorn, okay? You could actually meet somebody through work. You could meet somebody through your friendship circles as well. And I love that everybody gets a new moon in Libra this month, because Libra is the sign of relationships, of relating one-to-one to people. So you could meet someone traveling as well, I'm hearing. Again, it could be, I'm hearing both. Like finding love through circles, like networking, personal, professional networking, or at work, like literally in a work setting or a work environment. But I'm also something to do with traveling or in an educational setting could be a possibility as well, Capricorn. But anyway, this is really good for benefits and gains coming towards you in the career sector. Venus in the 10th house, ask for that raise, ask for the promotion, go after the raise, go after the promotion. This is clients coming your way, clients coming in, commitments coming in. But again, I just do that gut check, Capricorn, because at some point she will be squaring Jupiter. And this is like you going above and beyond for an employer, a client, or a loved one, like a marital partner or a new partner. So again, rein that in and bring in the balance and harmony, and make sure it's 50-50. Make sure they're meeting you halfway, Capricorn. All right, my friends, enjoy the month ahead, and we'll see you back here in November. Bye for now. Hey, Aquarius, welcome to your October month ahead reading. And let's start off by where I think some of your focus is going to be for the month ahead. So let's start with the sun. So the sun is still moving through your 9th house of Libra and will transition into your 10th house of Scorpio, joining the party with Mars and Venus there. So 9th house, also keep in mind, this is where you have a new beginning, starting fresh in this 9th house area of life, Aquarius. So 9th house is all about religion, spirituality, whatever that means to you, law, the justice system, legal situations, legal battles, education, teaching, going back to school, becoming the teacher, the mentor, the coach, or becoming the student all over again. This is about long distance trips and traveling, or people abroad, dealing with people from all walks of life, but also all over the globe, or from different like foreign shores, foreign cultures, like whatever you would consider different to you, Aquarius, could be coming into focus. 9th house is also pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone, which I love, because that's what this new moon is going to be asking you to do, is to incorporate something new in this area of life that kind of makes you a little bit uncomfortable. So I'll definitely come back to that. Now, once the sun moves into the 10th house, you got a lot of energy in here already, Aquarius. So 10th house is all about your status, your public reputation, your career, or whatever you do on a 9 to 5 basis. This could also put a focus on retirement or thoughts of retirement or thoughts of planning for the future. 10th house is about the legacy you want to leave behind. Also your long-term commitments and goals. I'm also hearing self-expression as well, Aquarius. So I'm going to talk about this a little bit here because Mars and Mercury in here can make you incredibly laser focused with work. Okay, now if you're not working, I would encourage you to channel this into something. Otherwise, you're going to go stir crazy at home. You're going to drive your partner nuts if whoever you live with, you're going to drive them nuts. So hone in on something. I would encourage you, if you're not working, learn something new. Build something with your hands. Do something physical. Get into a physical routine or challenge yourself, challenge your body without harming yourself, of course, in some way, shape, or form. Because you'll need to move this energy out because all of this energy is squaring you, Aquarius. That's what I'm getting at. So you're going to feel, well, I'm guessing you might feel jittery. You might feel anxious. You might feel angry for no reason out of nowhere. Not all the time, but like the littlest things might piss you off. So again, if you're not working, try to channel this. If you are working, again, even more important for you, channel this appropriately because this could be like outbursts at work. This could be getting into confrontations or heated debates that go a little bit too far, Aquarius, at work or with a parent or with a loved one or with a boss. So again, maybe some of you are like, I don't care, I'm not worried about it. Or maybe you're a litigator and this is what you do for a career. And you're like, if you do that, by the way, if you like argue for a living, like I'm thinking labor relations or like unions or something like that, or big corporations, man, you're going to be on point. You're going to be sharp. You're going to be fierce. Like you're going to like eat anyone alive who comes at you. Aquarius. So that might not be a bad thing. You know, I say to people sometimes, I'd rather be feared than loved, you know? Yeah, I'm also ruled by Saturn like you. So it's kind of like, I just, you know, and that's a horrible thing to say, but I mean, you got, whatever. I'm just cracking a joke here, a dry joke here, Aquarius. But you know what I mean? This is going to make you laser focused on work. If you are in sales, this is phenomenal energy. This is incredible energy. You're going to be passionate. You're going to be powerful. You're going to speak with authority. You're going to be just crisp. You're going to know exactly what to say. But again, keep in mind, Mars can be a loose cannon at time, a loose cannon. There we go, at times. Scorpio, he's a little bit more contained and strategic, right? Like turn strategic versus like a loose cannon, Aquarius. So anyway, not a bad energy, especially in the workhouse. Try not to burn yourself out, my friends, because I can see that happening. But this energy won't be here forever. It'll just put, again, that light heat energy with the sun in here is just amping up this Mars and this Mercury type of energy. And we only get this energy, Aquarius, every 2 years. Mars comes around to the top of your sky. So again, do take advantage of this, but just try not to burn your bridges, especially if you are, some of you could be ending a job, like cutting, ending, severing a job. That's totally fine with Mars at the top of your sky. That's appropriate. Or again, you are going after that promotion. You're going after that new job. You are starting a business or starting a side hustle. This is going to give you the amp, the energy, the passion, the drive, the motivation to keep it going, the momentum going, my friends. So this is, you know, really good news coming into your career sector, depending on how you want to channel this. Again, how you want to channel this. Okay, so that's the top of your sky. Let's dive into the new moon and the full moon. So let's start at the full moon in Aries at 14 degrees on the 6th of October. If you have anything around 14 degrees of Aquarius, this is going to add an additional layer. So if it's your moon sign, it could be endings culmination points, next chapters with regards to a mother figure or something to do with home, family, foundation, security. If it's your sun sign, it's about your career. So again, endings, culmination point in the career sector, or whatever it is that you do on a day-to-day basis, or something to do with your identity or your vitality could be changing, or something to do with father figures in your life as well. Or again, a boss, changes in your boss's life. If it's your rising sign, this could be about relationships. So again, endings, culmination points, taking that next step with your partner, changes in their relationships, or again, changes to your identity, like how you, it's like the glasses, the lenses we wear, how you project yourself onto the world. So again, depending on how you live through your rising sign or how you project, that could be up for some changes, right? And it could be just a mindset shift as well, because this is in your third house after all. So third house, busy, 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 busy house. Okay, so the mind, communication, it's how we digest information and chew on information. Could be about educational pursuits. So maybe you're wrapping up, learning something new, wrapping up a skill set, and you are now bringing that into your career. It's kind of like no more learning. Now it's time to apply what you have already learned in the past. That could be coming up here. Transportation, you know, maybe some of you, you're due for an upgrade on your transportation, or for some reason something comes to your attention with regards to your transportation, or how you get around could be changing as well. Technology could be changing for you. So like buying, selling, getting new gadgets, or upgrading something could be coming in as well. And third house is also a sibling, right? Changes in your sibling's life in some way, shape, or form. A relative, a neighbor, something to do with your local vicinity or community. Third house is also relatives as well, Aquarius. So it might not be about you. It might be about changes in a relative's life as well. Third house, social media, internet, and travel, like short distance traveling. It could also be long distance as well, because a full moon always shines a spotlight across the street from it. So for you, this is your ninth house that we talked about as well. So it could manifest in either area of life, Aquarius. Now, that new moon, I don't want to drive you nuts by repeating myself, but you are getting a fresh new start, like I mentioned, upstairs in your ninth house of religion, legal situations, higher education, teaching, mentoring, coaching, teaching, you becoming the student again, long distance trips or traveling, international situations. Okay, so there's a fresh new start coming in here. And again, would you have around 28 degrees of Aquarius? This is going to bring in an additional layer to this new fresh start. Career, home front, or again, something to do with your identity. And again, pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone in some way, shape, or form. The only thing about this new moon, Aquarius, is I'm just going to give you a heads up. It is squaring Pluto and Jupiter. So Pluto in your first house and Jupiter in your sixth house of work. I would say be mindful of taking on too much or doing too much. Some of you actually could get burnt out from traveling too much, whether it's work or personal. It's like I can see you going, flitting here, flitting there, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, oh my God, I'm so burnt out. I just want to sleep for like 48 hours. So again, just be mindful of that. I'm not going to harp about it. You know, try to, what's that saying? I can see you making a promise that you almost can't keep, or you're going to struggle to meet that promise, right? So just be mindful of that. Again and again, it could be with a loved one, it could be with a partner, it could be with work, because again, you have a lot of energy in your work house as well. So just be mindful of that. If you own a business, run a business, again, be mindful of promising your clients the world and you just can't get there, right? Or maybe you just can't do it all in 1 month and you got to stretch it maybe in 6 months, right? Which is fitting for a new moon. It usually manifests 6 months, if not longer than that, right, Aquarius? But anyway, I just wanted to give you a heads up about that. I mean, it's in your house of the gods. I would say reach for the stars. But again, it's in Libra. So you got to find that harmony and balance and make sure people are meeting you 50-50. Make sure people are meeting you halfway. I can also see some of you, if you're hiring a contractor, if you're hiring someone to do something for you or with you or work with you, make sure they are not promising you the world. If something sounds extremely too good to be true, drill down and find out more about that and just ask them, how are you going to get there? How are you going to make this happen in a couple weeks? Because that sounds impossible, right? Don't be afraid to ask those difficult questions, Aquarius. So I do see this happening on either side, right? It could be you, or it could be something to do with the workspace, or something to do with, again, somebody that works with you or for you, right? Could even be somebody that's doing work on your house. Make sure you understand the timelines, because something's going to be blown out of proportion around this new moon. And again, with Mercury retrograde, I feel like all of us will be reassessing something that we put into place in the month of October, which is not a bad thing, right? Definitely not a bad thing, because it's a good gut check of, okay, we're triple checking everything now. Now we can get back on track. And that's, I'm getting ahead of myself here. That's during the Mercury retrograde I'm talking about. Okay, Aquarius, and then with Venus moving into your 9th house, all that stuff I rambled off, Venus is benefiting this area of life and bringing in either love, or that cash flow is coming in through this 9th house. Some of you are definitely making money in your sleep, or you're getting money from the internet somehow. Like, yeah, I see money flowing to, like, through the internet to you in some way, shape, or form. So money is definitely heading its way to you, or it's love. And this is finding love internationally, Aquarius. So I do really like this energy. Those of you in legal situations or legal battles, Venus here will help that. Venus here should help that. I would need to see the rest of your chart, of course, and always look to your 9th house ruler, how it's aspected, and is this transit, is Venus helping your 9th house ruler in some way, shape, or form, even Jupiter for that matter. So Aquarius, also anything moving through Libra, by the way, also makes trines to your planets, placements, points. So again, Venus is going to be pouring in this incredible, beautiful, abundant, harmonious energy into your sign. Take a break this month. I'm also hearing, Aquarius, getaway. I'm hearing getaway. Venus in the 9th house, a new moon in the 9th house, a full moon in the 3rd house, shining a spotlight up to the 9th house. If you can get away this month, Aquarius, for pleasure, oh, do it, my friends. I would say, why not? You know, why not? If you can. If you can't, then just stay local, take a break, take a sick day, take a PTO day. But Venus is asking you to pamper yourself in some way, shape, or form as well. And do it as a partnership. Go with your partner as well, or your new, or again, a good friend, a good loved one, whatever the case may be. All right, Aquarius, enjoy the month ahead, and we'll see you back here in November. Bye for now. Hey, Pisces, welcome to October. Let's talk about where I think your focus is going to be for the month ahead. So Pisces, money is on the mind. I am guessing with the sun still transiting through Libra. And then once the sun moves into Scorpio, joining the party with Mercury and Mars there, it's going to go global. It's going to go international. And it's also about pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone this month. But let me go back to that 8th house here, because the 8th house is not all about money. 8th house is also about deep psychological matters, right? It's about, shining a spotlight in your attic. You see the spider webs, you see the little spideys crawling around, you got dust everywhere. Maybe some other creepy crawlers are coming out of the woodwork. So it's about illuminating that, shining light, heat, and energy into that, Pisces. Also, if anything comes up this month, anything like shadow work is big, right, in the 8th house. And I don't have to educate you on shadow work. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Anything coming up, bubbling up out of nowhere, this month. This might have already happened because the sun's been in here for a while. Well, since last month, I should say. Anything coming up is you're being asked to acknowledge it, to say thank you. I don't need that thought anymore, and literally pretend you're plucking it out of your skull and you're sending it far, far, far away to just disintegrate into thin air. So if you haven't already done, I have a feeling with Mars moving in here last month, moving through this sign for like, 6 weeks or so, you probably already went through this exercise. But with the sun in here, Venus in here, and a new moon in here, and a full moon shining a spotlight on your 8th house, that might come back up, Pisces. Something might come back up where you thought you closed something out and it comes back up again in some way, shape, or form. And again, once you deal with it and put it to bed, it's done. Like once it's done, it's done. 8th house is also about the mundane stuff, right? So taxes, debts, loans, mortgages. Actually, with Venus coming in here, my friends, this could be good news on a business loan, a mortgage, a car loan, whatever you need. I feel like the money's going to be there. Or a partner is going to help you out, because the 8th house is also shared assets, shared resources that you have with a marital partner, a common law partner, or a business partner, or something to do with work, or maybe even with family, right? Shared property, shared assets, shared bank accounts. This could also be inheritance, possibly as well. Wills, making a will for yourself or dealing with wills could be coming in this month as well. This is also the house of fear, power, control. Again, could be bubbling up to the surface. Nothing to worry about, nothing to panic about. But again, it's a possibility that could be coming back around this month. Now, the 9th house, as I mentioned, 9th house is the house of the gods, Pisces. So you got lots of energy coming in here. This is about international situations, international travel, foreign lands, foreign shores, foreign cultures, like whatever you would consider foreign, right? Whatever that is different to you could be coming into focus this month as well. And with Mars in here and Mercury in here, you're going to be laser focused on something or someone for that matter. This could definitely bring in I see double partnership signatures here, Pisces. So if you are looking for a partnership, you could find it abroad. Or you could find it local as well. I'm seeing both signatures, but regardless, 8th house, 9th house activations, I'm looking at Venus and Mars. Definitely could be meeting somebody new. And it could be overseas, or you're communicating like, like sexting and stuff like that. I can see that could be a possibility as well. 9th house is also educational pursuits, my friends. So whether you're the student going back to school or learning something new, Mars and Mercury and the sun in here is going to help you tremendously. And on top of it, at some point, the sun, Mercury, and Mars will be trining your planets, placements, points, Pisces. So I love that. I love, love, love that energy for you. Going back to school, that's what it was. So yes, this will help you with your studies. This will help you with your educational pursuits. This will also help you if you are a teacher, a mentor, or a coach. This is going to be phenomenal energy for you if you channel it wisely, right? As you know, I said this in the introduction. If you watch the beginning part of the video, I talked about Mercury and Mars coming together in Scorpio. This could be wicked words coming out of your mouth, Pisces, for good or for bad, okay? So I'm not focusing on the negative here, but take this energy higher, my friends. If you feel upset, if you feel angry, try to have a constructive conversation. And if you can't, give it the 12-hour, 24-hour rule, whether it's firing off an email or chatting with a loved one, right? It's about, I'm really hoping this month with Venus, especially coming into her home sign of Libra, it will help that harmony. It'll give us that balance, right? Because we got a lot of potent, powerful energy in Scorpio, and that's not a bad thing, but sometimes it can take us to the dark side, right? It can pull us under a little bit. So I'm really hoping with Venus and Libra, and she's very strong in here, she'll help bring in that balance, right, Pisces? So anyway, I'm not trying to focus on the negative. I like astrology for the heads up, because if you notice what you're noticing, you're going to catch yourself right away, right? Instead of flying off the handle or hurting a loved one unintentionally. Like, this is unintentional, because Scorpio has a bit of a, that psychological feel, right? It's that 8th house feel, that the subconscious mind. Something becomes conscious, and sometimes we don't even know what we're saying when we're in the heat of the moment, right? We're angry, we're mad, we're on the keyboard, all the trolls are coming out of the gutter this month with this aspect as well. So don't let people get under your skin, because I'll probably see, I think we're all going to see an uptick on that on social media, the news and things like that. I also feel like people are going to be attacked, like people in public figures, meaning verbally, you guys. Okay, so I hope I didn't trigger you by saying that, but like, I see attacking with words. I'm not talking about other shit. Okay, I want to be very clear. I can see public figures being attacked verbally or in writing or again, social media. Everybody hides behind social media, right? So, but that's not going to be you, right, Pisces? That's not going to be you, because at the end of the day, you're one of the lucky signs, same with Cancer, that this energy is flowing to you. So I'm hoping you'll be able to use this energy constructively as well. Also, for those of you in, this will be good if you're a psychic, incredible downloads, incredible insights, incredible for channeling, because again, you can focus in on that 9th house and bring the energy down to earth or to your clients, for example. Okay, so that's the 8th house, 9th house. Let's jump to that full moon in Aries, in your 2nd house of money. So this is an ending, a culmination point, possibly, okay? Or just another chapter. It's like turning a chapter in a book, in something to do with money, your day-to-day job, if you do work. And if you don't work, again, how does money flow to you? Because the lunations this month are definitely highlighting finances and resources and material possessions. Pisces, this could be you getting rid of things, by the way. This could be you having a garage sale, selling things, getting rid of things. Excellent full moon to do that, or that type of stuff. Just cleaning out the closets, getting rid of things that you just don't need anymore. Changes in the workspace, changes with your finances, changes with your income, changes with even your value system, perhaps, could be in the spotlight. How you earn a living. It's the 2nd house is anything to do with what belongs to you. 2nd house, something to do with maybe some of you are considering like plastic surgery and stuff like that. I'm thinking, especially with Saturn, Neptune back in your 1st house, and then coming back into your 2nd house in early 2026. Some of you are going to physically transform the body or the face in some way, shape, or form. I can definitely picture that. So maybe this month you make that appointment and you're like, I'm going to go through with this surgery and it's going to be fantastic. And I'm doing this for me. I'm not doing this for anybody else. Right, Pisces? Okay. Also, yeah, they're highlighting last month. They're asking, how was your last month? The eclipses, right? They're highlighting the eclipses, Pisces. So yeah, how was eclipse season for you in September? If you feel comfortable, drop a note in the comment section below, or go to my website and drop me a note on my contact page. I'd love to hear, revelations or anything that happened in September or anything new that came down the pipe. So anyway, they're reminding me of that you guys are coming off something big, possibly. So this might be a month to just kind of woosah, right? Woosah, take it easy. Okay, jumping up to that new moon. I don't want to drive you nuts by repeating myself, but a new moon in your 8th house. We talked about this a little bit. So another money house, But this is how money flows to you. This is shared money, assets, property, resources. This is also your partner's finances, Pisces. So maybe your partner there's a fresh new beginning coming in with your partner's finances and resources. But again, it's going to impact you in some way, shape, or form, right? Or this is investing in the business in some way, shape, or form, right? This could be a loan coming through, like I mentioned earlier, I think. Consolidating debt, fresh new starts with your finances, investments, inheritance, property. And this is the house of sexuality. So maybe this could be, again, another signature of a sexual partnership coming in, Pisces, if you're open to it. Again, if you're solid in a relationship, I would say, well, spice things up, Pisces. Get going. Get moving on that. Spice things up in the relationship. Get to know your partner again, right? Especially if you feel like it's stagnant. I hate using that word, but you know what I mean. With all this energy in your 9th house, travel. Go off somewhere, explore, pick an international destination, new or old, it doesn't matter. Just maybe get away with your partner this month if you can afford it. If not, again, stay local, right? Stay local, do a getaway, or just, I don't know, stay at home and whatever, binge watch. Binge watch, do whatever you want to do, Pisces. Take a break. The only thing I want to mention about this new moon, it's squaring Jupiter and Pluto. So extra emphasis on the psyche here, extra emphasis on endings and new beginnings and fresh new starts with relationships. Endings and new beginnings, fresh new starts with you spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, and physically as well. With Jupiter in your 5th house and this new moon in your partnership sector, this could be money flowing to kids. Might not be your kids, it might be their kids, or your kids or grandkids, Pisces. So I would watch that. This new moon is riddled with biting off more than you can chew, my friends. So I'm not here to preach. I'm not here to be an old bag and be like, do this, do that, don't do this. It's just a heads up energy that this moon being in Libra, we're going to feel so good. We're going to feel indulgent, and we're going to be like, we can do anything and take on the world. And I'm going to promise my clients everything. And I'm going to promise my job and my boss everything. And then this might bite you in the bum, Pisces. This is what I'm getting at, right? Mercury retrograde is going to happen in your 9th house and 10th house. So you might need to backpedal on something, right? I'm getting ahead of myself here because I'm giving you a heads up of whatever's implemented this month for all of us. Could be around the 21st of the month, but it could really happen at any time of the month. We might have to adjust something in November and December because we're going to feel good around this new moon, but especially Jupiter trining you, Pisces, yeah, so just a heads up. I don't want to go down the rabbit hole with that, Pisces. I could go on and on and on about that, but I don't want to because I get too preachy sometimes. But anyway, just a heads up type of energy, my friends. Just take it easy. You got Saturn and Neptune back in your sign. You might feel heavy. You might feel tired. You might feel boozy woozy. Like, what's going on here? What's going on here? But anyway, they're wrapping up a bigger cycle. They're not going to be here much longer. 3 more months, 5 more months, 6 more months. No, not 6. 5 more months, I think. Neptune's going to be back out of your sign in January, and Saturn will be back out of your sign in February. So, yeah, give yourself grace and space there, Pisces. Your partner could get a boost in income this month with Venus moving into the 8th house, but this is money flowing to you. Definitely. Did I already mention that? Yeah, this is money coming towards you. Again, could be through a partner, could be through a government source, could be through taxes, could be through rebates, Could be through clients. You're finally getting paid for something, Pisces, I feel like. Or again, this could be a loan coming through, like a win coming through when it comes to your finances and resources. Don't be afraid to shuffle around your money. But again, I'm not an advisor, financial person. So work with a financial advisor here. But Venus in the 8th house is good news for finances. And again, sexuality, love, finding a partner, right? I think I mentioned that earlier. All right, Pisces, enjoy the month ahead, and we'll see you back here in November. Bye for now.